I'm glad you enjoyed,
Indeed.
Kanathis.
Sad Vegas everywhere.
And now, Sav&D, Session 0. Here we are. It's going to be a fun time. Everybody here.
Indeed. Hi.
And I have a
Hi.
big
74,
page.
to be precise. To not be
Yes,
mistaken for two, 2.5, or 3.
I ate too much. Oh god.
I also
I,
ate too much,
I'm full
and
of
we will
pasta.
we will suffer for our poor life choices.
I'll
Oh,
I
yeah.
suffer
You're
together.
also full of pasta? Oh,
I
yeah.
am actually full of pasta as well.
I ate the
Uh-huh.
exact right amount to not want to die.
Well,
I
aren't
haven't
you
gotten around
special?
to eating yet.
Yes,
God damn it.
please.
You have the whole entire spectrum.
You're
What
skinny
else?
enough as it is. Go get something to eat.
Anyway, Sis, Session 0. This is our opportunity to talk about characters, setting, themes, anything that needs to be talked about before we kind of commit to between 50 and 100 weeks of our lives to this nonsense.
Okay, probably a good idea.
I've
So,
found that doing a Session 0 before every campaign is a great idea because
Right.
it's never helped once, but I'm sure it'll be different this time.
alright, so setting.
All right, so
Jeffrey's
hold on
toes are acting up.
before we do setting stuff. I want to talk about characters because that's important. Actually, specifically, I want to talk about two people's characters.
Okay.
Kina, your character's
What?
name. I know
Yes?
you're attached, but that name, good
What
lord.
about it? What
All
about
right,
my name?
it sounds like horse shit,
I thought
and
it was Hassat.
Yeah, I thought it was
I
Hassat.
keep, see-
It's a
I
shot.
keep seeing
exactly.
What's wrong with that?
ass hat.
It sounds like it sounds like you're going to be saying shat a lot, which is the past tense
Shat?
form of shit.
I like it. I think it sounds
I mean,
nice
it's
and
not a
funny.
horrible name, but understand that there are going to be a lot of poop jokes made about your character.
Or asshat jokes.
Or
probably.
asshat jokes, or horse shit jokes, which is even more unfortunate because you're playing a horse. So,
Hmm.
Look, sometimes you just gotta take
Well,
the
I'll
good
be
names
a horse's ass.
and take the memes that come with it.
Ugh.
or
I've
you could not,
already
because I know
I've
Kina
already
has
been
had.
a meme.
Yeah, like
But the
Kina's been a
names-
meme many times. Like Kina is in
But-
fact my channel's one and only emote.
But I actually like the name. I think it sounds exotic and nice. And I'm sad that
Yeah,
it
I
has
like
to
the
Like
name
change.
too.
if it had an extra S in it, so it actually was pronounced Hassat,
then it
maybe,
would
or some
literally
sort of
just be-
accent.
No, then it would actually have the word ass
Ass
hat in it, and it actually then like quantifies the issue that you apparently have with it.
That's true.
You Burke.
See, like it's I mean, it's up to you ultimately, but
I like her shout
that
personally,
name though.
and I will
I-
not make fun of the name.
I like the name a lot and will also not make fun of it.
You say this, but like give it 10 weeks.
I like the name. I've seen
I
this
like the
name
name.
since the D&D was made. The Roll20 was made. I was just like, that's a nice name, and that's where I left it. I didn't even have an issue with it until you brought it up.
I had not actually realized that it would have been that there was possibly any kind of issue with the name character.
That's
No.
because you were
It
saying
just reminds me of a character from a book whose name is Hashat. Wait a second. Now I need to look them up because I think that it's exactly why they are named that.
Womp womp.
Aha, fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
Womp,
that makes sense. It is
womp.
it is reminding me of that character. Well, there you have it. I've
Yeah, I know.
still zero
That's
issue
it.
with the name. It's a good name.
That is where I got the name from.
Makes sense.
So what was the second issue?
All right. Well, I'm not quite done with Kina yet.
Okay.
Don't forget to fill out all of your racial traits on your features and traits box because those are important. And now I'm done with you. Go away. Actually, no. I have a question for you. Actually, was your character a minotaur or a cowgirl before getting jacarded up?
It was a cowgirl.
Okay. Now I'm done with you.
No.
We can escape the memes, but we are still born from them.
Kina playing a cowgirl makes me feel good inside. All right.
What a fucking surprise.
All right. My other character issue. So I'm gonna try and be nice about this. Scow, I'm gonna turn the eyes sour onto you.
Of course.
Are you sure about this stat alignment? Because it's like this is possibly the worst character I've ever seen.
Damn, what?
Wow,
How
what?
bad is it?
It's
Yo,
it's
okay.
extremely bad.
are you
It's
playing
excellent.
are
Can
you playing a ranger?
can you share it with us?
Of course, happily. 13 strength, 9 dexterity,
Mhm.
16 constitution,
That's good.
12 intelligence,
Mhm.
10 wisdom, and 15 charisma.
Now you might say to yourself,
Be a
"Well, that's
paladin
not
warlock.
that bad. This is a paladin.
And will
You
also
have
be a
no
warlock.
attack stat at all."
And will becoming a... I can't... Do I have to keep repeating it as
I know
well?
you're going to become a warlock, but you have at least one, if not more, levels of being completely ineffectual. And even then, you're going to kind of have 2 very low stats, because it'll be at least 5, if not more, levels before you can get an ASI to get your charisma up.
Alright then, what would you recommend in the adjustment of stats?
Let's see. What are Salamanders? Again, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying, are you sure? Because I remember you had some issues with like giving Crusher the wrong strength last time. Like, I didn't know how that worked, so I want to make sure you have an opportunity to adjust yourself. So Salamanders.
It'll be fine. It'll just go
Your
master level
Constitution
3.
is fine. At 16, so that's good. Strength probably could have been your 15. Bump that up to 16. Now you can actually fight in melee, and then put your, I guess, 13 into charisma, or bump your Constitution down to the 12, make that a 14. Put the 14 into charisma, and then an ASI will get it up to 16, just like it would have anyway.
Okay. Sure.
Alright. I just want people not to be miserable in the campaign starting out.
What about me with my 6 strength?
You are a dex character. You don't need strength.
I know, but I
That
just
and as if anyone could undo your faggotry.
Also that. There's no way I can just pull you kicking and screaming off of that dex, so it's fine.
I just
Now,
I just wanted to
if
stop it.
Scout's character had either strength or dex being fairly high, or even charisma, that'd be fine. But having no attack stat of a +3 is a little worrying. And I know that's also the same for Murs, but you have
I have 4 plus 2s.
Yeah, you're
I
good. You're
think
good.
I'm okay.
I'm gay for
That's
2.
that's very well rounded.
Yeah,
You're not
Tarn is a very
excelling
well.
in
Nearly,
anything.
nearly spherical.
You're not excelling in anything, but you're very
Yeah. And as a hobgoblin, the only +3s I could have gotten would be Constitution or Intelligence, and they're not attack attributes for a fighter. That would
I
just be
mean,
what
you
made-
could have been a wizard. No, it's fine.
No, no, you stop that. You stop that right now.
So yeah, that being
think
said,
I'm-
that clears that up, and now we can move on to how I intended to start the session. So I showed to everyone a little document. It's also in the sidebar, notes on Cardian. Please read that. But to summarize this campaign, if you can look at the world map, it's quite large. It's actually even twice as large as you think, because if you open up your rulers, you'll note that this is now a 12-mile scale. That's double the usual.
You're saying is traveling.
Holy shit, this
even
shit is 24 miles across.
No, although that probably does include all of its outskirts and the farms around it and stuff. That's the zip
How
code.
fast does a party usually move? Is like 24 miles a day?
Yes, 24 miles on
Roughly?
foot, or 36 on horseback, or 48 if you have a ship, airship or sea ship.
God damn. So we could move 3 or maybe 4 squares. That's not fast.
Correct.
Or I guess it will actually, well, it will seem not very fast.
However, it
it's
may
actually-
also seem very fast because of the journey rules, but we'll get into those later.
Hmm.
But the point is that this game is going to have a lot of overland travel in it. Things are very spaced apart, and the map is quite large. There's a lot of map. There's also a map of the sea, which is different than the last two Sav&Ds, which just sort of had a little corner of the ocean. This is a fairly significant sea.
Yes, there are many islands, and
Yes, there are many islands.
And
One of
there's
them
a
is
lot
even
of
shaped
water.
like a boot. So yes, there is a lot of water. Most of these islands have things on them. I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where we want to like go exploring the sea. If not, that's fine because there's plenty of shit on land here.
I'm not seeing the boat.
You're not seeing the boot? Hold on.
Yeah,
I
neither.
don't see the boot.
Here you go. It's upside down.
I mean, it's upside down.
No, that's
That is
not a-
so-
Someone
that is
broke their
absolutely
toes.
Yeah, someone
That
did
is
absolutely
so
break their toes, or they're just curling them. I mean, come on.
It's just a pinchy hand.
Or it's a pinchy hand. Fine, it's
Uh,
claw.
Look at this shit.
I was
Like,
going
that's
more
someone
like
giving
it's
them
like
the
a
clamps.
uterus. It's just slightly deformed uterus.
All right, hold on. No, we can fix this. It's fine. Here's the flare.
I think you
Okay,
should
now
re-
we're good.
I think you should read.
All right, yeah, we're just gonna rename this Horona's womb here.
I was gonna say you should rename it to the Artist's Pain because that's my hand after.
No, it's fine. We're done.
Uh,
Yeah, that should have been Horona's clamps.
oh my god.
No, it's too late now.
I think I may have forgotten something about my character. I may have forgotten to fill out all of their spells. I should have 3 more cans. What level are we starting at again?
One.
One.
You have to
Okay,
ask.
just checking. Just checking.
I mean, as
I
a
should
sorcerer,
have-
you do actually get quite a lot of cantrips.
I should have 3 more cantrips.
Yes, you should. I mean, none of you except maybe Scow are actually done with your character sheets, as far as I know. Also, maybe
I
Mers.
mean, I just.
I thought I
prefer
was done, but I
stuff.
clearly had
What?
forgotten about
I'm
these.
not done with my character sheet.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you actually did fill in all your backstory stuff, so you're good now.
I need to wait before I can get approved or denied for how far in the weep hole I'm allowed to go.
Oh God. Well, we're gonna talk about you. Don't worry. We'll get around to that. But yeah. So as I was saying, big map. Playing like rangers, druids, scout, rogues, poke, 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 will probably be fairly rewarding. Also, unlike previous Sav&Ds, which generally took place in a country or like a province, in fact, there are 3 countries on this map. There is the Duchy of Anderland, which is part of Aruna. There is Avara, which is this mercant republic here. And there is, of course, the Amazon Tribelands. You'll note that their map is blank. That is intentional. It is unexplored terrain.
Unexplored or just undocumented? The difference.
Well, undocumented by anybody and unexplored by people who aren't Amazons.
There we go. It's just like how America was unexplored.
Exactly.
And uncolonized.
I don't think we could kick the Amazons' ass on this one, though.
I mean, it's okay. Just give them blankets.
Ah,
Oh well, at least I have something to cry about then.
God, didn't even fucking last until session 1.
Welcome to Sav&D, everybody.
Now, if you can just drop a word with the hard R in it, we can get this tick box out, like bashed out real early this time.
Oh, I forgot. I thought I had put green.
Rating?
Wrench?
No, that's wrench with a W. See, it doesn't go.
Let's go on R in it,
Like-
whatever.
Ranch. Ranch sauce.
Alright,
That's
moving on.
dressing.
It's
Anyway.
okay.
So yeah.
What about these smaller islands, Saven?
Many of them are occupied by things that are much too small to go on a map. Like, you'll note that there's like a little village here, tower here, some old ruins. Otherwise, they're either unoccupied or full of peasants. Dirty, evil peasants.
so now that our
Okay.
quest is to
Dirty,
establish...
evil peasants.
So
I
now
mean,
that our
have you met a
quest is
peasant?
to establish the Silk Road,
I mean, that's a legitimate thing, right? Because if you'll
Yeah.
notice, while Anderland has a fairly significant road system around it, emphasis around. There is no road connecting these two countries. Because there is this in the way. This is a giant spooky forest. Its journey
Alright.
DC is extremely high.
Just
Very
gonna
bad
put
things
that
live
as
in
a
there.
viable quest.
Bad
campaign.
things happen in the spooky haunted forest.
Yes, please do not go into the Black Forest. You will get Hansel and Greteled. If you're
Though,
lucky.
I mean, looking at the layout
I'm gonna get.
of the bay, it would be completely uneconomical to build a road. Boats would be faster, and that, with all of these islands around to get in the way, they'd be very safe from storms.
Look, the sea clearly just has
Yeah.
monsters in it. Don't logic my fantasy.
Oh yeah, the sea has monsters in it. Hold on, let me show you a little
Yeah.
monster here. Everyone looking at the bay.
Yeah.
Say hi.
It's very-
What?
That's to scale.
What?
That's to scale.
Wow.
Jesus fucking
mean-
Christ.
I'm just gonna say something.
You mean
That
there's
was
a
not
12-mile
Yes.
long ocean leviathan?
Yeah. Hi. How's it going?
Okay, I'm just gonna point out.
I was
something
waiting
that
to see what your
it's-
task would be.
Yeah, I have
it's
a water
faster
Tarrasque.
and more economical. It's like, no, that, and it's less. The sea tends to move and be affected by winds and weather a lot more than
It
land
would still
does.
be safer than going through Death Forest on a.
Unless you
let's
set that forest on fire.
see here. Oh yeah, there's
We
also a
can't-
I
mountain
mean, if you
range here.
destroy the entire forest,
I
then
mean,
maybe.
the things that live in the forest that make it dangerous will probably have something to say about that.
Look, this is
Well,
why.
they can run because the
Whatever.
entire California is
Anyway.
on fire again.
Anyway, it probably wouldn't be because you're looking at a difference of thrice the hundredfold of miles, and also over a mountain when you get there on the other side.
We have Residium. We can blow holes through mountains.
It's interesting you say that because there was this weird guy
was a
that
joke.
I think a lot of people have probably heard about called Haskern Covenstone. He died under mysterious circumstances not too long ago.
Okay,
But
so I
he
guess
is
I'm gonna
known
put
for
metal-
having created a giant, mountain-shattering bomb.
I guess I'm gonna put Metal Gear down as a potential campaign setting.
Yeah, because, apparently, rumor has it that he tried to create some sort of explosive that didn't require magic, and then he just turned up dead. So, that's a shame for him.
He just didn't
I
wanna be
mean,
out
he
of a
was
job.
known for lighting himself on fire and blowing up his own town.
Yeah,
With
he
his
just
experiments?
immolated
It
himself.
was
so-
really only a matter of time.
Yep. Nothing mysterious about the circumstances,
Nope.
unfortunately.
Not at all. It's never looked into in any way, shape, or form.
Continuing on.
It was the easiest assassination job ever.
He got witchered.
Yeah, he literally got witchered, yeah. Anyway. If you are looking to get journey tool proficiencies, which I suggest everyone have at least one of,
I have both land and water to start with.
great, because that will help when you go oceanborne, if ever.
What about forgery?
Forgery is not a journey skill, TCL.
I do have
journey skill.
I do have land vehicles. I also
Good,
have very
good.
high athletics.
I have burrowing.
Just make sure you actually cover all of the different roles, all three of them, with somebody.
Well, we had already done.
Because I will spoil this for you. My DCs are not as low as Scow's.
Well,
What
your
do you-
game is journey-centric, almost certainly.
The only one I think of, but I'm not immediately aware we have covered is Provisioner. Who has that?
I haven't got it open right now. What are the relevance?
Wait, what did you say?
Survival, cook's utensils, or herbalism kit. Does anyone have one of those?
No, I don't have a single one of those.
I guess
I do.
survival, but sure. And I have my background.
All right,
I mean, if you have one, then it's enough, right?
Yeah, you just need one of the applicable proficiencies. So we have a navigator for sure. We have at least two of them. A provisioner, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say D-Cell's probably got scout covered.
What? I don't have stealth trained.
I don't believe you.
What?
I have an expertise. Obviously,
There you go.
There you go.
Walked right into that.
Okay.
directly into that.
Oh, I forgot. I have, thanks to my being a fucking dwarf background there, I can handle the provision without any form of DC check.
So as long as Hedra is in the provisioner role, you guys will not be consuming rations, which is good because that would be extremely expensive very quickly, as we found out in Borks.
Yes. People need to eat a lot.
Yeah.
People eat when they are hungry. People die when
People
they're
die when they're eaten.
Whoa. And that's how monsters feel. But yeah.
People die when they are bored.
So in addition to journey skills, I recommend everyone have at least one social skill. Yes, even you. Because y'all... I like how DCL actually responded to that, too. I didn't even say his name. You do actually spend considerably more time talking to people than you do fighting. So being able to contribute to that is good for your fun having.
Well, look, I got
that into insight on my end.
Well, look, I got it trained, but I was actually planning to train and expertise insight once I get.
Hey, it's a social skill.
Yep.
I
Detect
have
bullshit is an
none.
important social skill.
People keep telling me, but it so rarely I've seen it come up.
I literally have nothing. The only thing I could get would be fucking intimidation.
I mean,
that's
you
a
have a
social
background. That's 2 proficiencies of literally any skill you want. So, I mean,
Athletic survival. No, that background.
no, you can choose any 2 skills when you choose a background.
No.
Those are just suggestions.
No, skill proficiencies are athletics and survival in the background
Yeah,
or
that's-
outline.
Yes, I
Yeah,
know,
background.
but
It's
you
hard.
see, when you choose a background, you can choose any 2 proficiencies. Your background gives you 2 suggested
No, that's class
proficiencies.
proficiency.
No. Class gives you a choice of 2 to 4 from a list. Your background gives you 2 free proficiencies. Your background also lets you choose those 2 proficiencies from any proficiency. The backgrounds are
That's
suggestions, not rules.
No.
Yes.
That's not what it says in the player's handbook, but you're the GM.
Say
I
that
swear to
I'm
God,
going
if they
off the-
change that from the playtest, I'm just gonna be mad.
It is
Dude,
100%
I'm
changed
going-
from the playtest.
God damn
Yeah,
it!
I'm going on D&D Beyond's character creation there.
Yeah, you.
That doesn't give
it
me
is-
any
All right,
choice.
well,
that is
whatever.
super-
There are rules either in the GMG or somewhere for making your own background, because it turns out it's just 2 skill proficiencies and 2
Yeah,
not skill proficiencies.
I was gonna say like it's moot because
Yeah, you can just
make
make
your own
whatever you
anyway.
want. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if you
Okay,
want to
then.
just
Just-
use a background out of the player's handbook verbatim, that's fine, but you do not have to.
Then I want to change my
Okay.
background.
Go for it.
Skills, because I did not guess I was also reading the rules where it's like choose.
I mean
a
you were
background.
reading the correct rules.
I
Nothing
guess
wrong
you
with
were.
that.
I will be honest. I have not read the player's handbook at all ever. I just use my playtest manual. It's usually fine.
God damn it, save it.
Terrible.
Six.
Worst.
Hey, look, 4 years later, and it hasn't come to bite me in the ass yet, except sometimes.
Well, at least I can get rid of Arcana.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, we have 2 sages in the party. Kobold and Hobgoblin. Say hello to each other.
What do we have? 2
Sages. 2 of them.
Zuthus is
There was a solid chunk of time where it looked like DCL and I were going to be playing the exact same thing, except he was the kobold version.
Yeah.
What? You
Excellent.
guys should have both been samurai.
I'm
I
Andreas
support this
Scalia
wholeheartedly,
Samurai.
but
You
fine.
guys should have both been samurai.
They both link an arm over each other and drink from one another's sake cups.
It was real tempting. It was real tempting.
You
But
could have been samurai bros. You could
No,
have
okay, so-
had.
No, because here's what happened. The weeb and me wanted to be samurai bros. Instead, we're samurai and ninja.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway,
All right.
where were we? But yes, do have a social skill trained. Intimidate is a perfectly valid social skill if you don't mind people reacting poorly if you roll badly.
Depends on how often we move. If we
I
never come
mean,
back.
that's also a question we're going to be answering later, and the answer is I don't know. But yeah, so you guys, if you do change your background, do remember that you get 2 skills and 2 non-skills. These do not cross the streams. You cannot have 3 skills and 1 tool. You cannot have 3 tools and 1 skill. You have 2 of each. Speaking of tools, somebody in the party would be greatly benefited by having an herbalist kit, because that is half-price potions of healing literally forever.
What does Herbalist Kit use again?
It doesn't matter, because it's used for crafting things, which doesn't require a roll.
Okay, then. I guess I can do that.
Well, I have to drop my nature as a wandering barbarian to
No, I got it. I got it. Oh, you were talking about intimidation.
I mean, to be fair, with given your character's intelligence, I don't think you're losing out on much.
Hey, I had a plus fucking 1 in nature. Okay?
Yes, but now you have a plus what in intimidate?
2.
See?
Because charisma. Despite the fact that there should be flex to intimidate.
I agree, and I will let you
Yeah.
use strength for intimidate if it is appropriate. Anyway, I would recommend looking at the Arcane Artifice rules. They've changed slightly from last campaign. Specifically, now that Xanathar's has come out, if you want to make a common like potion or whatever, and you have the appropriate proficiency, e.g. Herbalist Kit, you can just pop one of those out during a short rest, which is actually quite powerful, it turns out. If you are not proficient in that and are just a spellcaster, you can make one in 1 day rather than 7. And all other consumables now take 7 days, regardless of rarity.
Wait, can you run that by me again?
Alright, if you have proficiency with an Herbalist Kit, a Poisoner's Kit, or an Alchemist Kit, you can make any item whose value is 50 silver pieces or less during a short rest. So every time the party takes a short rest, you can squirt out a healing potion. Any higher rarity item can be made in 7 days rather than however many it would normally take to craft a magic item. So that the party
Anything-
can actually get
anything
access to
above
consumables.
Anything above 50 silver,
Correct.
I want to express my disappointment.
but
that,
below 200.
I want to express my disappointment that magic items are still expensive, so it'll take me a while to get my rare animated waifu pillow.
I mean, a rare item will only take 5,000 pieces of gold. Don't
It's
worry
worth
about it.
going.
Also, the DC for crafting or for disenchanting things has gone up because fuck you guys.
I like that that's the only reason.
It really is. I'm learning from the
makes sense.
Scow school of game design of, man, they never fail. Just gonna bump the DCs.
Yeah, they never fail,
What
right?
do you mean? I just try to give
Right.
you less times to roll.
I mean,
The
you guys
school
have
of man, they
literally
never fail
never,
hasn't been
ever
resolved.
failed a disenchantment roll because you just blow your entire load into it.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah,
then
but
we only get the one or
difference
two
now-
times.
We only get one fucking shot at it.
We don't.
Yeah, but Saven, right now you don't have any fucking buff class. We have no
That's-
buff class.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
Look,
Whatever.
all I'm
Yeah,
saying
so-
is that unless we get the mobile base where we all can have downtime while we travel, we're not going to be crafting much.
I mean, that depends on if you guys are traveling a lot or just over long distances, right? But we'll get to that.
I was going to say, like, it depends on if we ever end up at a place that we're, either able to or willing to stay in for a while. Assuming the world doesn't try and end on us, we'll be able to do things like rest when we want to get things done.
I
Yes.
did have a question about the Arcane Artifice rules.
Go for it.
If you have a proficiency but you're not a class that it normally lines up with, are you still okay to do it?
So, if you have a proficiency to make a consumable item, such as potions, poisons, alchemical explosives, you don't need to be any class to do that. You can just make it as long as you have the proficiency. If you want to make permanent magic items, e.g., I want to make a magic sword, you do need to either be a spellcaster or have one help you. Or have shitloads of residium. Because that sort of negates the cost of most things. So yes, like if you want to go into smithing, for example, you would want a wizard to help you spend all of your gold in creating a magic sword.
Are either the warlock or sorcerer able to help in this, even though we are not of the nerd variety? We're
Yes,
the chads
you
of
just need to
spellcasting.
have spell slots. In fact, even an
Okay.
arcane trickster or an eldritch knight could contribute as long as they meet the requisite caster
So-
level,
Okay.
which is a third for that.
What? Say, what if, for example, I took the Magic Initiate feat?
That's a good question. I would say that would work. I mean, you have the ability to innately cast spells, so yeah, sure. Why not? You're a spellcaster.
Does an initiate have spell slots then?
They don't
Or
have
is it
spell
just
slots,
cantrips?
per se,
Yeah.
quote
It
unquote.
gives you a first level spell.
So it doesn't give you a spell slot. It just gives you the ability to cast spells. That is a difference that
Oh.
is important.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I thought you literally said as well, you need spell slots equal to a number of whatever to do the thing.
So you don't need spell slots. You need caster levels. So it will probably limit you to caster level 1 stuff, unless you also take a spellcasting class. So that's a good clarification. Now that's still like common items, so like a +1 sword.
Fuck the nerds. We're just a party of jocks. We're just gonna go over to their libraries and bully them for their shit.
I mean,
I
you
mean,
say
yeah,
that, but
like,
that's a
none of us
perfectly
are
valid
wizards.
plan. That's how most adventurers do their shit. It's just knock
Yeah.
people over and take it.
We are this time we are actually just a bunch of like mercenaries. Like we're a
We are a
bunch of
bunch of-
losers.
So speaking of which, actually, that brings us to my next point. Now that we are off of the like 5-paragraph rant, does the party all know each other when we start out, or do like the 2 sages know each other and then the 3 jocks, and then you meet somewhere? What do you guys want to do?
Hmm. I
Not
think we
three
first need to.
jokes.
I think we first need to figure out what's the deal with everybody's character, and then we can decide if everybody knows each other.
All right, yeah, that's a good point. Why don't each of you go around and just say a few words about your character, just class, background, that sort of thing. Mers, go.
Alright, I'm playing Tarnovac, a hobgoblin sage fighter. It's, was born off out in the actual Hobgoblin Empire, and in, having been brought up like just a couple of generations after the Empire suffered one of its biggest ever defeats in losing the entire continent, just looked into the history behind it and is now traveling to get first-hand experience of, okay, what did we do wrong with these people? What did the Empire fuck up? How can we change that in the future so that we can have a government that people stop trying to rebel against?
And this is how he came to look for magic gear.
We are not putting in magic nanomachines and getting in a presidential fist fight. It's not happening.
Look, it would be cool, right?
I don't know. A presidential fist fight sounds pretty great.
Look, you are all going to lose the fist fight against Skeza. I'm sorry, you're level 1.
Look, I'd be a fist fight. I'd be happy to lose as long as it happened.
Because she will fist you afterwards, so I'm sure you would be, but...
Look, stay away from my poor kobold trap hole.
I'm now imagining that your hobgoblin is dressed like G,
Yeah.
president of the Earth.
Street Fighter or thing. It's great. Don't worry.
Ignore the nerds.
Hmm.
Alright, so we have the Hobgoblin Scholar coming to find out WTF why we lose. Why did we lose Vietnam?
Why are
Yeah,
nations?
basically.
Why are nations so?
God, this
OP?
really was the Hobgoblin Vietnam.
Yeah.
Going to come and liberate the poor savages from themselves. Oh god, no. Why?
Well,
Alright, so moving on from that, Hedra, what up?
Hello. I had to reload.
That's fine. So, who is your character? What are you playing?
I am playing the Barbarian.
Do you
Hey,
have perhaps a name and a race as well?
are you playing?
Yes, I actually do. It's a female dwarf that has actual little rounded ears and a stumpy little round tail. Much akin to an actual bear.
She's extremely cute.
She is
Super
but
fucking
simple
adorable.
barefoot.
And it's not a lot to me other than the fact that she tends to come and go, just disappear out to nature, and then just come towards town every once a week, twice a week, or like every other week rather.
So it
does
sounds
turn
like
out
you're
Just
probably
one
not already probably
shitloads.
in the group if that's the case. Maybe you're like a guide or something they hire on for a temporary quote unquote basis.
It's fine.
And
Zeus wants.
Do you have a name you've shared with anybody, or are you the nameless hero of our journey?
Well, still, nobody has really asked for us. You're just known as either the guide or that the dwarf with the ears.
Hey, you with a face.
It's fine. Zuth was just stumbling through the forest and almost got turned into stew.
It's true. Many people
I have
do
no idea
mistake
what you're
kobolds
talking
for drakes.
But then Barbarian realized that it was a talking cute kobold, and now he exists purely to be hugged. That is the canon behind that image, and I'm sticking through it. No,
You must become strong around before your ribs are crushed.
my entire character arc is trying to survive the hugs.
You must be at least this level to survive. Alright, so we have a wandering barbarian. Skoo.
Yeah, I'm playing Naya, Salamander Paladin, who will eventually be locking it up. And she comes from a ruined merchant family. The entire rest of her family, for mysterious reasons or whatever another, is defunct and gone. As it stands, she has little to no cash left to her name. But she is still, blessed with that kind of training and would very much like to become a, rich mercantile individual again. But considering her great-great-grandpappy did it by starting as an adventurer, she's probably going to have to do the same. So you got to have adventurer money to start a mercantile empire.
It's the only way.
I mean, it makes sense, right? The only reason that the economy functions at all in this world is that the biggest business owners had to start as merchants. Had to start as adventurers.
They're merchants of death.
They needed that
First you get
huge
the
lump.
power, then you get the money, then you get the mercantile empire.
Alright, DCL.
I hail from glorious Devonland, looking for dragon katana folded. No,
I was literally this close to just throwing you out of this call, I swear to God.
no, I'm not going that deep. Oh, at least not in that direction. So I'm
Hulak.
playing Zuth. Zuth is a little kobold. I don't know exactly what I'm going to aim his little hometown, but the short and long of it is that basically he is traveling the world trying to figure out these strange creatures who can walk above ground and like not melt under the sun, and figure out their culture so that he can figure out the best ways to help expand his kobold entire nation to like
Did
find
he-
different places to live.
Did he live underground? Because how long does this take place after the first
Good
game?
question.
The second
And
game?
chat was just
Wait.
asking. So this campaign will be starting on. Let me pop open the thing real quick. On
How
March
long before
15th,
and-
1398. So about 25-ish years after 73.
See, I have to get a lot of like
That's a long time.
I have
That's a lot longer
Yes.
further. That's a lot further ahead than I thought it was.
Really, the last time was a
that's
50-year
no,
jump.
that's-
And still, I
Oh.
thought this one would be a more closely related.
No,
into-
25 years.
it
Is
was
not
supposed to be 20, 25 years ahead. That was said.
25 years
Actually,
really
not so much.
feels like a lot considering the ramifications of what happened.
Good.
I mean, yeah,
So-
that's what I thought, right? I thought everyone wanted to get away from like the last two campaigns. So
Okay,
Yeah, fuck
but
our knows. If we do it 20
Yeah.
to 25 years now, then we won't be in time for the next fucking cycle of pointless death and end of the world again.
the point
You mean the
point
next
is
time the Empire and Aruna decide to throw down?
Yeah. or the Dark Lord starts
Yeah.
to enter
I
the lobby.
mean, depending on what Mers wants to do, like there might have been a more recent like attempt that failed as well. Like if you need that to be something that happened maybe in your lifetime or shortly before.
I'm not even.
I mean, Tarnavak's 35 years old, being born like 40 years after Skeza's rebellion and all that fighting. That would be long enough for it to get into the realm of academic interest, while still being fresh enough in the consciousness.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, that works
Well,
out pretty well.
they had to deal with. Don't forget, they had to deal with Murder Moon giants as well.
Yeah, the Empire also had to deal with them. Probably didn't end well for them. Because
I wasn't.
guess who doesn't have like a functioning military at that particular point in time, or like any magic users to combat them with?
Wait, who doesn't?
The Empire.
Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna focus on Happy.
I swear to
Kobold
God, if you
Times.
go like, let me go to
going
the
to focus-
Empire.
On Happy Kobold Times, because I have questions, because my character's backstory ties into basically everything he's going to do. I need to know what's
Right.
going to fly and what's going to be no. Fuck
Right
you, my
about
lord.
that. Right about
So-
that. I was asking. because,
Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. I'm
Whoa!
talking.
sorry.
Everybody talked over me. I
Alright,
said
DC
several times. I got questions.
Yeah, okay, DCL go.
Okay. All right. So, first things first. Kobolds. Are they a natural thing? Are there kobolds walking around? Does nobody care anymore? I don't expect.
What do you mean by natural? Like, are they like
I don't
magical
expect it to-
constructs, or
No, I don't expect to deal with kobold racism, but like how much of kobolds establish themselves in like major cities? Are they still?
So kobolds are very rare in Civilization. I feel like they're more common now because we had a Jeffrey who successfully survived a campaign, and so they aren't just like exterminated.
Yes.
But they mostly live like in the rural areas outside of towns or in like the sewers under towns. You don't generally go around and see like, "Hello, I'm the kobold merchant. Welcome to my store." Like that's not a thing.
Yes. There's two facets to Zeus' story. One, he made the big book of everything until one day one of his friends was like, "You realize you've never gone above ground, so you can't really call it the big book of everything." So now he's exploring to rectify that. And two, he wants to figure out how he can integrate kobolds into other societies and in the isolationism of his country. So, if either of those are going to be a problem, to know now. I'm going to take the silence as a no and let Kanathis ask his question. I have more questions, but that'll take a little bit longer.
All right. And sorry, I was reading
I-
something Mers typed. But yes, Kina, tell us about your heroine. Not your drugs, your character.
Okay, it was okay. I was just gonna say, like, you didn't know what name of your hometown was because you hadn't decided yet. It was like, it could be your kobold frame from the town of kobolds that was made in the epilogue of Sav&D3.
But are those kobolds all weebs?
You see,
Probably not. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Okay, so
Jeffrey
the
was a Euro nerd.
okay, so let me
Yeah.
explain a little bit more because of course I'm going to throw in my weeb flavorings, but part of the thing is that I'm role playing. I know you mechanically it's gone, but sunlight sensitivity. I'm role playing that kobolds walking above the earth.
I
is
mean,
a
it's
big
not
deal.
mechanically gone. That's a thing that you're gonna have
Oh.
to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah, that is very much a kobold racial trait,
Okay.
and that's why you have pack tactics.
I'm gonna take that arrow in the knee, continue forward. So yeah, kobolds do not normally walk above the ground, so that's a big deal. Part of the reason why kobolds have grovel and cower in pack tactics is because I want to roleplay them as because they are very physically weak and combat incapable. So they very much have developed a society where it is based around everybody doing their part to help, and everybody has to like contribute because otherwise society cannot exist for kobolds, aka Japan mindset.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there real quick. I'm going to just level a suggestion that everyone's going to laugh at and no one's going to take seriously, so don't worry about it. That sounds an awful lot to me like kobold communism.
I mean, yeah, basically. Kobolds are weak and need to work
You,
together.
TCL, you do know that that's basic fucking global society you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is that basic Kobold society lets itself easily be like, parallel to Japanese society.
It
would be
lends itself very well to collectivism.
Yeah, they isolate
Yeah.
themselves. They all believe everybody needs to do their part. Don't stick out or try to be special. Contribute to society, and it's part of the reason why Zeus is like, oh yeah, it's completely fine that I need to find a group of adventurers to travel around with for my travels because going alone is suicidal and stupid. Who would ever do something so crazy?
All right.
Insert Jeffrey.
Jeffrey was a literal fucking weirdo, and that's why he was adventuring before he met you guys. And he fell in a magic portal. Oh, and by the way, he has wings and shit.
Yeah. You see, Jeffrey, the one closest to the great celestial sun scale, the demigod amongst kobolds, walked the earth and spread his good name. And now it is the perfect time for kobolds to come above ground.
I dig it. I dig it a lot.
So yeah, I don't know how big the little pocket of Zeus society is gonna be, but I plan to fill
All right.
in backstory.
So
that's
I had a
pretty much-
bunch of questions for players later, but this is a good time to key in on yours. DCL.
Mhm.
I want to be able to visit Kobold Dragon Citadel someday. Is it on this map?
Well, I guess let's figure that out.
Because, if you want isolated, weirdo kobolds who grew up without civilization, one
I
of
was
these
literally
islands out here,
I
maybe
was
this
literally
fucker.
looking at this island all the way over here.
Alright, so I'm just going to bring something off the GM layer. Boop. I was really hoping you would say that. Is that an okay name? Or is that, sun scale is the sun, according to what you were saying, right?
Because they call I wanted the dragons to be called sun scales because they're dragons who fly
Oh.
closer to the sun and
I
dominate
get
the
it.
skies. So it's they worship the sun scales, but at the same time they don't call their land that because they hide from the sun. So there's a little weird dichotomy going
So
on there.
is it Shadow Scale Island? Is it Moon Scale Island?
Something like that. I was thinking something according more to the moon.
Alright, so let's see. Tide Scale?
Not like Moonlight Island.
The
There's a
theme
lot
that
of-
plays every time you land there is just Moonlight Sonata, played by Jill Valentine.
There's a lot of workshopping I have to do on the little kobold culture there, due to the fact, but I'm mostly just borrowing from Japanese ideologies because
Excellent.
it's so easy.
Where was the thing? I totally forgot. I totally didn't look at it. Where?
Zeus is a happy-go-lucky scholarly type, but he's basically just a ninja within his moral ethics and do what you have to do to survive since you're a weak, fragile creature.
Alright. And I have one follow-up question on that, and you can PM me the answer if you want. Do you actually have, on this island, a immortal dragon emperor, or are you ruled by kobolds?
I mean, that's an answer. I think it's really cool if we have an immortal dragon empire who's just not around currently. I was gonna wait on your ruling of that.
Okay, I can work with this. I can make this a thing. And you...
I like the
Kind
idea.
of some kind of dragon sage.
I like the idea of the dragon not have been around for a while, so some of the kobolds think that he's just a fictional character
Yeah,
that doesn't actually exist.
Sooth has, snowy white scales, right?
Yeah,
that's-
Zeus and albino.
Perfect. What would you say to all the kobolds on your island having, white-ish or, icy blue, that sort of color scheme scales? Because I have a way to tie that into, a storyline I was working on that would be really cool.
I don't disagree with it.
Okay, perfecto. Alright, so now we have the ice bolds. So yeah, back to what we were discussing before we move on to this. Welcome to Session 0, by the way, where everything is scatterbrained. Does the party know each other or not? Now that we know a little bit more about everyone's characters.
Did Keena's character even get introduced?
Fuck.
No, we kind of segued out of that.
you
I am
segued
so
out of it
sorry.
Multiple times.
I just totally know. I've seen so much RD characters. Yeah, I know who that is. What up?
My car over, Kina, I get to put into Okay, forward. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, someone could just interrupt real quick. That'd be great. No. Okay, Keenan,
No,
go.
I couldn't do that.
This is
I
your
have
time to shine, my friend. Go.
Okay, I'm playing Hashat, a cowgirl who met a mercenary who met up by chance with Jacquard's band of wandering miscreants and kind of fell in with them for a while. But as she was there, she kind of, in a spot of lucky insight, she kind of noticed that something kind of weird's going on with these guys. Something like my head's kind of like weird. I don't know. I kind of lightheaded lately. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this place. I should probably go. And so she left. Not before becoming a horse girl,
Okay.
but she
so
left before fully turning into that life.
She ain't
And
about that
wandered
life.
off back into being a wandering, just like a sellsword. And on one of her adventures, as she was hired out to escort some scholar into some newly found tomb in some god forbidden part of the fucking world. They found what looked like a relic of some sort, a strange, weird, like stone hammer underground, sitting on a pedestal, and they thought it was going to be okay, but oh god, did it not go okay? Because anyone who touched that thing turned into a statue.
Interesting.
Except for her shot, who didn't turn into a statue. And in fact, after touching this weird weapon and leaving with it, she found that she had magic in her now. She had sorceress powers and could, as she could swear, hear the earth and the stone talking to her or whispering to her in her dreams. And that listening to these whispers, she figured out how to kind of manipulate the earth and draw upon the obdurate, unending strength of the mountains and the stone underneath her
You're hired.
hooves. And her adventures, her wanderings have led her down here, as she got a tip from a dwarf who saw that the runes on her strange hammer that may or may not be magic, probably not, is totally fine, probably not cursed, I don't know. That he swore he saw symbols something like that down far south at the very edge of the continent, and so that brought her all the way down here.
Nice.
It's fine. No, you're hired.
She doesn't know where she's supposed to go yet, but she knows it's somewhere down in here somewhere. There's a lot of places to. She wants to figure out where this thing came from.
All right. So I got some questions on that. I'm gonna give you the DCL treatment.
Yes.
All right. Are those runes Minotaur runes? Because I'll tell you something about this part of the world.
They all
This used to be the Minotaur homeland long, long ago.
are they all angry swears?
They're all just angry Greek letters, and Snippy just comes in here and screeches at us every time you talk.
They are strange runes.
Cyrillic.
They look kind of. They're kind of not quite dwarven. They're along the same like rune script, but very different. Clearly not from dwarves, but maybe the same like origination language, like the same root language that split off into dwarven and something else.
Cool. All right. And is the place you found this hammer at somewhere on this map? And if so, where?
I was thinking it would be. I was thinking it was gonna be further north, but I think it could have been somewhere.
I mean, the opposite would be like it's further south, like on the Amazon continent somewhere.
I mean, could have been.
Sure, Minotaurs live down there. They're probably popular.
Sure, yeah.
All right, cool. I
So
am all about it.
So
Basic. Okay, let's see. Hang on a second. I need to. I could just. I actually have a picture of what I imagined it kind of looks like.
Is it just any hammer from World of Warcraft? Just a cinder block on a
No,
stick? Aw.
no. It actually will be familiar.
Oh god.
Ah, that's a good fucking choice. I
Ah,
approve.
you cunt. Starting
That's
off
super
with such a-
good.
starting off with such a cool weapon. Who do you think you are? How
It's just
How
a big
dare.
rock on a. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a big rock on a.
It is
How
a big
dare.
cinder block
It's
on a
Big,
stick.
big block on a stick.
It's just covered in weird words that I can't
Yeah.
read,
hmm
but it whispers to me sometimes.
starting off with a trick weapon?
It whispers.
It's not. It's
It sings
no,
to
there's
you.
no way.
The smell of it.
Yes, yes.
It's enough to make a man sick. Alright. Cool. I am so about this.
So now that we've established that we're just actually playing Bloodborne,
I mean, look, I will fucking put Yarnum on this map. Don't you doubt it. Bring
You
those
can't
fucking
do that.
moon
Yarnum's on
things.
my map.
No, I'm bringing the things from the moon presences, you might call them, the squiggly horrors, down on here, and they're gonna sit
those
on
are
some
in
buildings.
My game. Don't you dare.
No, I got there first.
No, you fucking
re-
didn't.
I said I did,
literally
therefore I
fought.
did.
You've literally been to El Dial.
gonna rename myself to the
You've been to the
Scale
moon,
of
motherfucker.
We
Just so I
actually
have an
went to the
excuse.
moon.
Did we go to the moon before or after moon El Dial happened? That's the real question.
don't
That is a
know.
good question.
I'm not sure which one of us did it first. Let's agree to a draw and both use Yarnum. The
Excellent.
best Yarnum
In fact,
win.
what if they're the same Yarnum? That's just the one connection point between Iona and Saris.
Oh, I found out where all the high elves went. They came to your world to be cocksleeves.
Yes, excellent. Okay, yeah, they all came here, set up camp, and then this one Lord Winter asshole.
They
just-
wouldn't. Your places for pumpkins. But anyway.
All right.
So,
I
yeah.
mean,
So,
elves,
yeah,
are, elves are spacing.
So as a question related to the grouping, and no, this is not me trying to insert myself to the leader position. I don't think people are going to listen to me anyways. But
DCL.
the idea of Zuth hiring out the rest of the characters, since you all seem to basically just be mercenaries, and Zuth would be the kind of person who's just like, yes, get a group together.
Just like our Lord Jeffrey did.
Yeah, exactly. Jeffrey led a group that ended up saving the world, obviously.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I mean, everyone knows that.
I mean, I would say, dependent on how long Zuth has been out of Tide Scale Island, we could, he and Tarnovac could have met in scholarly situations before forming an adventuring party.
Because, I mean, Zuth would be the kind of plucky, happy-go-lucky person who would be out stumbling, meet somebody, and then be, hey, you're cool, you want to come with me and have sweet adventures? I'll pay.
I love it.
So he could have literally just stumbled into every one of the party members, and for different reasons. It was like, become my bro mates, let's go exploring.
That works with me.
Yeah, I'm down to clown.
Hired some mercenaries, found a scouting barbarian, and adventuring forth.
All right, yeah, you are Zuth's adventuring party. Sure, I'm down with that. What specifically are you looking into then? Like right at the start of this campaign, that you're
Well,
hiring
I
these
mean-
nerds on for? Like,
I mean,
where
I
were you
have-
adventuring?
I have the big book of everything, so adventurers could be anything. Like, we could be going next to one of the big settlements just to see and observe the culture and see what it's like. Or we could have heard about some mystical magical artifact. Now we're traveling around to go find it. If you want something solid, that I think would be a good start.
All right, well, let's pause that for a second and say, there are two relatively civilized continents or countries here. Anderland, part of New Aruna. You've all been to Aruna like once, if not twice.
And Elvish and Aram,
Yeah, Narame. That is an elf settlement. It's on the surface. They all go blind every day. It's not a great time for them. The other side is Avara, which is new and exciting, but also new and scary. Which country do you guys want to start in? I am
Mm,
fine with either.
I do not know. I guess I vote Avrava just because it's new.
Yeah,
I
so
I would um, do the opposite. I'd vote Aruna just so we have some sense of familiarity.
Hmm.
chat, you don't get a vote. Shut up.
Well, it would. Well, I would go with Andelin because it's recently opened up.
It's true.
What,
Because
like a frontier-esque, new
yeah,
opportunities, etc.
remember, according to the reading stuff, they just not too long ago managed to do an amicable work
Yeah,
relationship between the Republic of Ibarra and Aruna.
yeah. Because remember, it was only like 30 years ago or so that the like Reconquista ended. And while Anderlin was not reconquered at the end of that necessarily, it has definitely had its issues with like returning peace and stability to its lands. I mean, there's now a large hobgoblin population that lives here and is like, we don't like you. The catfolk are like, we don't like you either, dude. It's okay.
I would say to keep things simple and free spirited, maybe a good way to start would be just saying we are at Aruna. Zuth has gotten together these mercenaries, and now he's officially gone. Let's go travel and explore the new frontier, and that's it. And we let the cards fall where they may.
They're just coming down the road here, just like, what's going on in this part of the world?
Basically, keep it free spirited. We're playing Slayers. Every episode's a new adventure in a new town.
I mean, yeah, I'm okay with
That would
that being
imply
how we start out.
Works
that
for me.
means you're gonna have to explode the fucking villagers at the end of the day.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I know Slayers, dude.
Starting
watched
on an
it before
island
you
in the middle of an ocean. It's like, oh, well, turns out you die of exposure. Good game.
I mean, presumably it'd be a civilized island like Horona's or like one of these over here. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm down with starting in Anderland.
Mm-hmm.
in
And you get the
Andorlanda.
local tour guide there. Hello.
Yeah, if you want to be being a dwarf, maybe you've lived here for like 10, 15 years or so, and you know the lay of the land. Probably
Well,
not near.
20 plus fucking years. Like 20 plus years.
Yeah, yeah. So like maybe you live in like Luvarn here or one of the settlements nearby, like little
No, I
farms.
just live where the fuck ever because
All right.
I literally can.
So
I
you
tried.
live on a mountain somewhere. Like I'll make my
I
own
tried.
goddamn hold.
I tried to go exploring
Yeah.
once and got completely lost, but then I found her.
Sounds good. So this
That works.
is where y'all nerds are gonna be starting somewhere in this area.
Okay.
Works for me.
This weird kobold is giving you a bunch of gold to say go walking with me, and your old old's just like, okay.
It's on a very very spirited walk.
Very enthusiastic walk.
If you just start walking and being slowly lifted up and walking in the air, keep just walking in the air.
So do you firemen carry Zuth, or do you carry him under arm, or just like paraded in front of you like an object? What's his mode of travel with you?
Oh, because he got a papoose.
Please no kobold papoose. It's so embarrassing.
A little,
So
it's a little to
undignified.
me. It's a little undignified.
Sometimes the winter she gets so cold, and the papoose, beneath the bosoms, she is so warm.
I regret asking all those questions. All right.
As you should.
So yeah, do you guys have any lingering questions, or can I move on to some questions for you guys?
Hmm.
Where is P really stored?
In the balls.
In
We
the
all know that.
balls.
Come
I
on.
knew it! Alright, moving on then. I'm good.
Which is why kobolds don't
Uh,
pee, because they don't
Yeah,
have any.
it's true. No, their balls are just internal. And they pee out the tip of their tail. Duh.
Ugh.
Um, I I don't need an answer for it right now because it will probably take a bit for you to think. But like, at some point, getting more details about the way stuff had been going on in the Empire would be nice.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess, yeah, that's a question for you. Were you born in the Empire and you, like, caught a ship over here? Because that's a fucking long distance away. Or were you born
Yeah.
on this continent? Okay, so you're from the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Neat. I don't think we've, like, ever seen an NPC from the Empire since, like, late Sav&D, too. Because all the hobgoblins you guys fought, like, all the grunts, were probably just born on this continent, too. Because it'd been, like, 100 years. So that's neat.
Born from the inglorious empire.
Pretty much. Alright. So, if that's it, then yeah, let me move on to some questions. These are going to be open-ended for right now, before I get back into those specifics I talked about earlier for characters. So, what do you guys want to discover about Iona in this campaign? What interests you in the world's history or its inner workings? What secrets do you want to uncover?
Yes.
Am I allowed?
Thank you.
Am I allowed to say Metal Gear?
No.
Okay then. I want to discover the people and cultures.
Yeah, yeah, cultures and the interplay of cultures, and that's sort of worked into my entire character's concept.
I want to go around.
Ruins and great profit, important people, and opportunities. Then we'll go quiet at once. I just had to check then if my internet fucking died on me.
Nope. I want to like specifically go to a town, have some weird or fun stuff about it, find out some problem that one group of people are having, maybe help in it involved, maybe it involves going to a ruin or something, solve it, have the happy ending, then move on to the next town. Fucking turn it into an adventuring series.
Alright.
You're gonna hate me when I say this, but make it One Piece.
I don't know what that is. Literally never watched anything to do with it.
It's basically.
It's fine, DCL.
I mean, I'm just explaining like this.
But he won't get it.
No, it's fine. I'm not explaining the anime. I'm explaining like, the structure. It's like yeah, because everything's an island. Everything's kind of like subjugated to its own little world a little bit. So you know, it's just basically have fun. What kind of weird culture can you create today? What's going on in it?
God, making me actually do like world building shit. Jesus Christ.
Weren't you
Oh,
complaining
no,
about like
yeah.
all the world building we skipped?
No, I complain about how bad I am at world building.
Oh, fuck your shit, that keep
Welcome to
working.
my world building.
Yeah, isn't that the point?
That
You're
is the
not
whole
welcome
point
to
of
my-
my game, yeah it is. The reason there's a second season is because there's so much more to build.
We always
Yeah.
make you work so hard to fill out the gaps in your
Yeah, and there were so many gaps left unfilled. The holes were wantsome and wanting. So that's why there's a season 2 in the same
Indeed.
fucking place.
It's just filled with gashes all over the place.
Yeah. It's
To be-
fucking, you can't walk for clunge.
To be honest, of course, I'm going to say this as the Weeb and One Piece fan, but taking a page from their book and making it so that like every town or like island is a little bit isolated from everybody else and develops its own weird culture might help with the world building because then you don't need to worry so much about
Well-
like, okay, since this town's doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I know the roads, but I'm saying like, you know,
No, it's not. It's the fucking distance.
yeah, they're really close together. I'm saying if you want to change
I
that,
mean-
No,
if it
it's not
does-
fucking.
No.
They're
Most
fucking
people
far
don't
as
travel
fuck,
more than
dude.
5 miles away from where they were
Yeah.
born before they fucking
Oh.
die.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's actually what you're suggesting is 100% legit. They're super far.
Really?
Yeah, like there's a
Yeah.
big road, but that also probably in a lot of places doesn't even look like a road because it's 100 and something miles between these bigger civilizations.
I mean, fuck. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
just getting what I want, but on land.
Yeah, you are. You're getting what you want on
Like,
land
why
and
do
then
you-
also some ocean.
Yeah, Tisha, think about this. Why do you think in, for example, in Europe, which is a lot of this shit and Savan's ideas are based around, is so fucking diverse? Like, there's multiple things that are completely different from each other's, but they're literally 10, 15 miles away from each other, even less sometimes.
Yeah, I would say just maybe let the coherent thing that links the world together be magic. As much as I hate it, but whatever. And then just like
Okay.
every city is its own weird little thing, and you don't have to worry about an overarching plot or how every island plays off each other, unless that's the point. So then we could just enjoy exploring some ruins and meeting some weird people.
Yeah, then we can explore the rest of this fucking place and other shit. But just so you know, your idea, like what you want, is literally what's already here because
We just gotta
the
explore and do it
surf
now.
don't move. The surf don't move. They pretty much live, die by the fucking are born.
And I don't know, then fucking maybe we meet some crazy, cool, weird wilderness stuff as well. If the whole journey is
Yeah.
about traveling,
Yeah, I would say.
do
The
do
whole
also
point of this is the journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want monster of the week.
do also do also the weird thing One Piece does, which is like the weather and nature is crazy and it varies differently, and that's part of the challenge and fun in itself.
For some reason, the
And
rain
you're
here is
seeing
boiling hot.
Saban's
Good
fucking-
luck.
For some,
Yeah, you've seen Saban's weather rolls.
yes, here the rain is lava. Okay, we can't get that
Yep,
crazy.
So-
but
rain.
please, if it rains lava, you all
No.
just die, and so
I
does
know, I'm
most
ju-
of this terrain.
Yes.
I almost
But
wish more
here's the
Resident-
thing though.
Mhm.
Here's the thing though. We will have more encounters because now you do not have tiny huts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I almost wish we were playing in Residium Fallout, so that, like, all the Residium nukes went off, and now the land is just weird. Like, in one zone,
Yeah.
the rocks just float in the sky, and in another, there's fucking actual cloud people. Because
Everyone,
wild
just
magic
please
is-
check the weird wasteland perk on your character sheet. Thank you.
Yeah, because now we're dealing with the magical wasteland.
I mean,
And people
that would be
Welcome to
fun.
this-
I'm
So-
sorry, I tried selecting Weird Wasteland, but all it did was turn on Complicated Encumbrance. That's no good.
No.
I mean, not Fallout, like, really. Like, people have already built and have cities. It's just now the outside is infested with wild magic. I don't know. I'm very much in the mood for just throw whatever you think is cool and interesting at us and keep it a contained story. And then
Okay.
if we don't like it, we just
Things
fucking
that are
move on.
not considered a bump in the road, please.
Yeah, let's not die.
Yes. If you think it's like, oh, this would just be a bump in the road, you know it will fucking kill us. Please don't put that shit there.
So yeah, things small and localized. And then when we say, if the group ever says like, yeah, we don't want to deal with this adventure, let's just move on. There actually is something else to do, and we don't feel like we just like are dumping something that could potentially be like months of story building related to a character. I don't know. Fuck it.
And that's every character you meet. Fucking go
Sabin says that it
attach
has a
yourself
steam
to the
generator
mute
ready.
bartender in some random bullshit town.
You know how it goes. The well-constructed NPC over here. Everybody's interested in the cardboard 2D
Yep.
bartender.
That's how it works, especially if the cardboard NPC has giant titties. That's what I've
Exactly.
learned.
Sorry, I hurt titties.
Alright, so next question. What do you want to change in the world?
Nothing. I want to help a few people in a few things, and then have fun somewhere else.
My fortunes.
And that's a real thing considering your backstory.
Yeah, I would absolutely like that to be my driving change about the world.
Get cash money.
Yeah, fucking get cash money. I
All
will,
right,
I,
Nami.
will, I will I will recount the very last portion of her backstory. Nahia herself tries not to revive her family name, but to restart it, as her great-great ancestor did, making adventurer money before buying a ship, a warehouse, and marrying a smart woman.
All right, Nami.
That's how it do.
No idea what you're referring to.
No one does, but
No,
I'm doing
It's
it.
fine. It's fine. I did. You're okay.
I'm doing it for myself at this point. But yeah. Like,
Yeah. Well, what I want to change about the world is my economic place in it.
like the idea of like Zuth finding a place for the kobolds to actually settle on the larger scope of the land is more of just like a backdrop for adventure.
Ah, yeah.
One day I will
Yes,
employ them
yeah.
all.
I mean, they'll accept it.
Sav&D
Yeah, I have some
has-
ideas based on your backstory. You don't have to say that out loud.
I'm just gonna say that Savior knows what the fuck I'm about, so I don't need to say
Yeah.
much.
Oh, is it the story that I have read before as well?
Yeah, you helped me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will be a thing.
It will be a
Alright.
thing.
I don't have any. I don't have I don't have any huge like long-term goals other than I want to. I just want to find. I want to. I want to unravel the mysteries of this thing I've got, and
Kanathis?
hopefully not turn to stone. in the
Kanathis?
process. What?
I'm metaphorically putting my hands, cheeks, and looking you dead in the eye. I want you to say that with me now.
Yes.
Adventure.
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 That is your motivation.
Okay. I adventure.
Alright,
My-
but
my
Kanathis,
motivation
what
is
about
I
this
want
Jacquard asshole who was like totally trying to mind control you or something? Don't you want to go deal with
I
him?
mean, yeah, one day he'll get hit up the side of the back of the head with an adventurer's hammer.
I mean, that was kind of weird.
Adventurers have the weird habit of stumbling into places where they need to be, you know? It's just how the world works.
That's so far away. Though.
Look, Jacquard's going to show up in this campaign one way or the other. Do you want it to be a hostile encounter, or do you want it to be like on good terms with him?
I think the real answer is it's pointless to answer that now, because we don't know how the party's going to shape up.
I mean, it just really wasn't for me.
Here's the thing: we're all on fucking edges of the goddamn horseman bursts out of the fucking woods. Yeah, somebody's get a fucking javelin to the face.
Yeah, I bet we're going to be real paranoid after the 6th time we've been attacked after we've been sleeping. And out in the wilderness, we just adopt the strike first, ask questions later mentality.
I mean, look, Jacquard would never attack you guys out of the blue. What are you kidding?
He doesn't have to. We just have to think he is.
They're coming right at us. Boom, boom, boom.
Basically.
Alright.
Be a legitimate reflex after living out in the Sav&D Wilderlands for a while.
It probably will be. Alright. Here's an easy question. What do you not want to happen during this campaign?
We all know that
World
answer.
ending
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
events.
We all know that. Anything else? Is there any kind of content you want to be off limits too? This would be a good time to point that out. Do you not want there to be
Child
70 minotaurs
prostitution?
welcoming?
I would consider like I wouldn't say no politics, obviously, but we're obviously a whole bunch of characters. I cannot deal with another like epically racially charged encounter at the very least. Like, I'm okay with politics happening and conflicts, indeed some conflicts caused by race, but I cannot deal with a campaign setting that is all racism. I literally myself already ran one of those.
I was about to say, what are you talking about? I'm the black one here. Although, yes, I
I'm
would
sorry.
like to live in a world where everybody's...
Whoa, what's that, DCL?
No.
I mean,
I would like-
the campaign setting isn't magically changing because of this. Like, there's still going to be
It's true, but
hobgoblins
like,
and cat
you know,
folks who really don't like each other. But if we
Yeah,
want to
can that just-
avoid that being like the main jam, they're sort of a hat as a civilization. We can do that.
They could just be
That would
like
be nice.
Koreans and Chinese, and we leave them off to their corner.
I mean,
No.
that's yeah,
No, DCL.
that was
No,
I meant to
not happening.
that was a bad.
No.
I-
But I get the idea. So yeah, okay.
But yes, don't want real estate to happen
Real estate?
Wait,
Why
what?
must you hate me so much?
because the moment we start buying land in places, the moment. Okay, so I like having a main city and hub to like stick around in. So that's usually what I'm fine with. But as I've had this conversation many times, we're not having a city punk campaign. So, I mean, I guess we buy like a house or a home or something. But I just
Right.
don't want anything that's going to take away from the feeling of we can just fuck off and have another adventure over here.
And that's what castles are
Yeah,
for, right?
like
They
this,
just
yeah.
defend themselves while you're gone.
Yeah. You pay people to guard your ships and stuff, or you buy a fucking bar, and they work for you. Simple as that.
Yeah, let me tell you how much
you buy a
space
fucking
in the original D&D rulebooks Gary Gygax devoted to like hiring men-at-arms to defend your shit for you while you went and ventured. Spoiler,
I
it's a
don't
lot.
I don't know why I just thought of the idea, but like having a medium-sized magical creature who we like take along as a pet, and as it grows bigger and bigger, it just like becomes our mobile base, and we just build on top of it as it herds us around. Nope, I'm the only one.
That sounds like something that
What?
would get us a lot of attention and involved in things.
Yeah, like we're no, we're not fucking Baba Yaga here, okay? We're not old fucking Iron Tooth here in our fucking chicken house.
I mean, my first thought when
That said,
DCL
like-
said that was like finding a dragon hatchling, but then that would take like decades or centuries to turn into
Yeah.
like a mobile base. So
I mean, in and of itself, though, I'm down to clown for mobile base. You know,
Yeah,
you
like-
got to get the brand out
Yeah.
there.
Like
I mean,
like a caravan?
have airships become more common yet, Sav?
more
No.
common in that there's probably like more than single digits of them. It might be into the low double digits.
Oh yeah, but still not at the level where even adventurers can just buy one.
I mean,
No.
you can't just like go to a used airship lot and buy one. You could commission one if you get a shitload of money, but that's also something that takes
And
years
that
to
could
make.
be a goal.
I was thinking
I mean,
like
you could also
have-
hijack somebody's airship, right? Like the Empire has them, and so does Zavara and Aruna. So,
I feel like that paints a huge target on our backs.
I mean, having an airship
Yeah.
period does, because if you have an airship, then someone else will come and hijack it eventually.
I mean, yeah.
That's what
I
you
guess
do
the same-
with cool airships, is you hijack them. That's all they're there for.
I mean,
Sky pirate.
the reason why I was just like something like a ground fortress or a creature, docile creature that moves us around is because then if we get real estate, it's something that we are permanently interacting with and does not hinder us
Yeah.
from going forward, and we can actually become attached to. And it's not tiny hut, so
Yeah.
you could still spring traps on us.
I mean, the other side of that is literally a boat, because look how much of the like campaign is
Like,
attached
you
to
can
water.
live out. You can actually literally live out of a ship.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'd be down with that, except Savan has already shown off the Leviathan.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
look,
12
you all
miles.
know that
It's
Mr.
too big to
Leviathan's
get to
out
the shore,
there.
right?
Everybody knows Mr. Leviathan's out there. He's the bedtime story you tell your kids when you're going on in a boat, not to fuck around and like spit off the side or whatever, or the Leviathan will come and it'll kill everyone you know and love. So
But
don't
that
do
would-
that.
It's fine. We'll buy a boat, but we'll also never leave the shore where it's too shallow for a
Yes,
12
there is in
24
fact
mile long beach to get here.
it's like in Civilization. They're the shallow waters where you're safe, and then when
It's
you
how much
leave
of
that,
how short can you make your castle run
because I almost
without
feel
getting
like
Leviathan?
I almost feel like this would be a Gats idea because he's got like that big turtle barbarian in one of his recent games. But it'd be like having a Gats.
oh, yes, he makes games.
Yeah, AG. Yeah, he does D&D games.
Oh, D&D. I had no idea actually.
Yeah, he's got like a little turtle barbarian. The
Wait,
reason why I was
what?
saying that is because like something like that, where you know you have like a little house that can be on land or sea, creates
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a permanent object permanence, and then
Annie.
it's just like it
Find a
would be a
turtle.
tiny hut without any of the downsides of the DM being able to screw with us, and then we as players could like customize it a little bit. Not like build an actual fortress to defend ourselves with.
There you
but
go.
have rooms.
Baba Yaga's house.
That will.
That's literally
I mean,
what you're
in
fucking asking for.
Borks 1, we had Darren's Instant Fortress, like, on steroids, but still.
It was a hardcore fortress, that thing. What with the flaming baluster attached
Yeah,
to it. And
literally
small
the fucking
squadron of
Mount Doom.
adamantine golems.
I mean, if we want to get to that level, like after level 10 or something, I wouldn't be opposed. But
I
it's like,
wish they'd gotten to that level at level 10.
yeah,
Like-
just like having something small and cute, and like this is where we put all our cool stuff while we're traveling,
Yeah.
and
What
maybe it's a
like-
little bit more quirky than a caravan.
Hmm.
Yeah,
we,
like
want,
a Dan's
we
and
want
some fortress or
Brindlebury's
something.
instant warehouse.
Because the obvious answer is just get a fucking caravan.
Dude, there's actually in Roll20's token set, it's either when you search up wagon or caravan, one of the models is a closed version of it, an open version of it, where it looks like it opens out into like a room or shop front.
Yeah.
And I know it's one of the free tokens
we're
that are
not
in it.
fucking jippos.
None, whatever. But that said, like, fucking the collapsible building is doable without us throwing massive magic at something.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's not necessarily magical.
We could
And it's
have
fine,
interesting.
Hedra. All we need to do is
interesting
not
NPC.
deal coke or like run a carnival, and we'll be okay.
Then
Or
we're just
steal
merchants.
things.
We could
Yeah.
have interesting NPCs palling around.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I just
Still,
like yeah, mobile fortress
No.
seems to be something that would solve like our inevitable bad habits of waifu.
I mean, if
collecting
you want
and
fortress,
buying
we can just like have scorpions attached to the tops of the caravan.
See, when you
For a
said that,
minute, I thought you
I
meant
actually thought you meant like
scorpions.
scorpions. I was like,
Protect
Nashka?
the scorpions, get them.
insect.
magic.
Yes,
we've-
I was thinking like, what? How the fuck are scorpions gonna goddamn protect us?
Fucking,
There's stabs in the
fucking
back.
scorpion-based carriages and some Dark Sun shit.
You see,
Actually, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty baller.
Daven rolls the encounter,
That, I get.
rolls handle animal, and then now we've
I
got,
got-
scorpion guards.
I got that. I keep saying that because I like in this one Pathfinder book I read is like the main characters have this like they travel around in this carriage all the time, like doing on their adventures in this, and they travel around on this carriage, and the carriage got fucked up, and then it got fixed, and then in the latest book it got upgraded to have like a collapsible like little ballista on top of it,
We call
like
it
a
the scorpion.
scorpion.
Yeah, that is the
'Cause it
actual name of
pops
that
up.
thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's super rad, super cool.
The Dark Sun comparison was that like every kind of like object or mode of transport is effectively some kind of hollowed out other thing.
Yeah, and then
it's just water skins. They didn't even have water skins. They were in fact just a large grubs that contained lots of water. You really crunched that first.
Yo,
and then
It's
if you want to screw us on crafting DCs or extend how long it takes to learn a skill or something, we can dedicate at least some of that time while traveling to learn. So that way we have more chances to fail your new DCs.
sounds good. All right. Let's see. Next question then. Let me pop this out for everybody. So you're all familiar with this. We've seen it many times.
Yes.
yes.
What should the XP triggers be for this campaign? Because I feel like neutralize a direct threat to the Queen's Peace isn't really applicable to you because that's not your responsibility anymore.
Mm,
Because you are not like chosen ones or their scions this time. You are Joe Blow random.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a more down. This is a more down to earth campaign. Not
So,
so high in the sky.
I was thinking something like defeat a legendary monster or like acquire a magic item replacing that.
Oh, I was about to say, oh shit, are we going monster hunting?
No. Dude, given how fucking rare legendary monsters are and how fucking rare magic items are in this setting,
I mean,
that's something
I
that
can make
fucking
legendary
see.
creatures much more
I-
common if you guys want.
I mean, depends on
No.
I
No.
like Scout's suggestion.
What was Scout suggesting?
See, resolve a
Resolve
deadly
it.
encounter. That's every session.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're just gonna
We
say,
only run on deadly level
You
encounter.
really do.
Alright, yeah.
I mean, if
This
we want
is
to
digicombat.
we want to be exploring around with a giant monster hunter-sized creatures walking about.
I
No.
mean, if you guys go to the Amazon tribe lands, that's how it be. But up here, less so.
And this is how we started Monster Hunter World, the campaign.
I
Would it
mean,
be something along the lines of improve our part? Did you improve your party's fortune?
That's
That could
very
be as much
nebulous.
as it is a bit nebulous, but it would allow you to call in like either social or physical, I suppose. It's either that or having more options, just making them more specific and or hard to accomplish.
I has
How
idea.
about this?
So the average still
Improve
remains
the
the same,
party
but there are more
situation.
options.
I was gonna say, play to your character's personality.
And that's how you earn inspiration. That's already rewarding you with a thing.
Yeah. That's,
Mm.
And it's a
Uh,
good
so,
idea,
how about
but
this?
already taken.
Who
was
actually
gonna-
remembers inspiration?
Look, that's
I
y'all's
do.
We'll
job.
get there eventually.
I remember inspiration
No.
frequently. Often between
what's your
sessions,
name?
and then I just mark it on your
Wizard.
character sheet without saying
Yeah.
anything, but still.
You said about the monetary thing. How about improving the party situation?
I mean, that was basically what I just said, just slightly
Alright,
different
so
wording.
let's quantify that if that's what you guys want. Like, if you find either a magic item, a permanent magic item, or a treasure hoard of X value or greater, then mark.
Mm,
I'm weirded out because of the semantics of that. Like,
no,
if-
that's just straight up monetary because if the situation improve the party situation would allow for both, like Wizard said, a social improvement.
And social
as
improvement
well
is
as
already
like
like make a
general-
new ally or lasting enemy. That's already an XP trigger.
True.
yeah. If like
Yeah, but
money,
you
like
can really make an
improving,
ally out of
like,
fucking Joe the Forge.
Improving your holdings could totally be an XP trigger, e.g. your fortress ship, whatever.
What about
Okay.
what about making it more character based? Like,
which
what
that's-
about it's like you see how like we have advance and complete a quest. What if there's one for advancing a player character's personal character arc?
no?
No.
No.
Wow, that's
still,
surprising.
That's still a quest.
I'm sorry. I can already see how that's going to like, because I don't think this party is going to have many clashing problems. But if every character is trying to do their their like personal quest, that ends up taking us in different directions, that's just gonna be an issue. And I want to avoid that.
He's right.
I mean, everybody will get the EXP for one character's quest being done. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's not
Well,
like
wait.
everybody gets
Yes.
screwed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, all these XP triggers are as a group. Nobody earns individual XP in this game.
But if that was the case, I would like there to be like a clear indication of, okay, this is this character's quest time now, and everybody's helping them do this quest.
Yeah. I mean, if
And
you
there's no-
you were already mentioning like doing episodic stuff, so that's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't mean I didn't say complete. Like advance or
Yeah,
advance or complete a quest, advance or complete a character arc. Like make steps on your character's personal.
So,
That's still
so
a
basically,
quest.
if you are advancing a quest that's related to your character's personality, you get double experience for that quest. Yeah.
No, you would only be able to trigger it once. Now that means if you advanced another quest in the same session, you could trigger 2 XP. But you can
Yeah.
only cash in one event one time.
I'm still not exactly sure how I feel, because that means if we want to get optimal EXP, we always have to be fishing for some hook related to our quest backgrounds. Which I feel
Optimal XP.
Get a-
That's
Well,
cute.
like I said, the whole character thing is already tied into advance or complete a quest. It's still a character or it's a fucking mission. It's taking side quests and shit like that. It doesn't matter. It's still an advance of a quest, be personal or group. See,
Yeah, that was why I was suggesting the thing I was, like, making that as the one exception to the you can only cash in one thing once, because that it incentivizes playing into your character and it will come up naturally.
okay.
And while I can understand your reservations, Saven, I do think it would work in general.
I have a suggestion that might play too much into Saban's hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's marrying of the two, playing to your character's flaws for the GM's benefit.
Again, that's
Yeah,
inspiration.
that is literally what inspiration is for.
that's
I mean,
inspiration.
I guess. I mean, if you're gonna get like EXP for getting money, you're getting money and EXP now, so it's like I don't see
No,
why you
it
can't.
has to be a.
I mean, you say that like
a
that isn't literally how XP used to work in like OD&D and up to AD&D
Yeah,
second.
but that was dumb.
I mean, you say that, but that was what the game was about, so it wasn't really dumb when that's the
No,
whole
'cause
point
the
of the
game was
game.
dumb.
I mean, all right, that's a fair
Yeah.
argument, but still.
I thought you would be all over that because like the characters having to play for their flaws, so that you could be like, okay, well now I got this thing I could do.
That also grants inspiration as well, though. There's multiple ways of getting it, and
Yep.
playing to your character, be it positive or negative, does it, and you can call in your flaws as well as your ideals when you're doing those.
Okay,
kinds
let
of
me
things.
put it this way: I feel like giving Sav&D a branch to screw you with is more worthy of EXP than just inspiration.
I mean,
Yeah, Sagan
DCL
can
has
do
a
that
valid
without
argument there.
flaws.
Hey, Mers, would you
'Cause
do
if-
me a favor and just copy paste what you reward XP in for, just for comparison, in Mers and Hammer? 'Cause,
Sure, give me a couple minutes.
yeah.
I
Something
mean,
it's
it's
gonna bite you.
mostly the same as you. In fact, it's basically Scal's suggestion of it.
Yeah,
But,
like, the one I was thinking of specifically, or at least in your
the
wording.
learning interesting
Yes.
truth about another player character.
Yeah, that's what I was, like, specifically thinking of.
I guess I like that one. Yeah.
So that'll give you, like, incentive to not just do the save-in route of just bottling up your entire character's backstory and never speaking. Did you
Doesn't
cuck
go
your
away.
companions? No, that's not a goal. That's the
I'm just
reward,
adding-
not the goal.
I'm just adding more to the list as I go, thinking of different keywords. I also, honestly, am quite fond of that because everyone's got secrets and shit to learn.
And we never ask
Yeah, you
anybody
are.
to give them.
It's true. It's always nice to
Alright,
have a
but-
reason to start up story time with Gunner, for instance.
Oh lord. It's bad with the world and I'm seeing personal quest. We're in a dangerous challenge.
Did we defeat the demon overlord who was threatening the peace?
Alright, so here are the ones I
Not a threat, like not a threat to a queen's peace, but to a threat to the local,
Yeah, it
peace.
might be good actually if we're going from place to place, resolving a conflict for them. The only issue is that in a lot of cases, since we're mercenaries, defeating a threat would tend to be our quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
That's
in
kinda why I
Crimson
wanted to get
Hammer,
rid of that
our
one.
quests are never go and kill this thing. They
Yeah.
usually survive from here to there, if I'm honest.
I-
But, you know.
I like incentivizing learning about other characters. Then now
Yeah.
we'll all learn what our character's about and be able to go like, okay, now I know
And
how.
I
we
do
can-
indeed have fun things to gradually reveal and or make up on the spot.
Yeah, I'm actually really for that. I think we should just go all in on that.
Any objections?
No?
I want to learn more about the fellow companion.
Yes.
Cool.
I still like the idea of advancing, like the characters, like stories. But okay,
I mean,
This
that
one-
would tie into
Ties into
that.
a
Yeah,
quest.
I guess that would, yeah.
when you advance your story, if you advance it in a meaningful way, other people are going to know about that. That would let people score in, learning about you. So,
I mean, I would put it this way: it's like you watch an episode of anime and then one of the characters just like, "Hey, what's your deal?" And they explain it, and then the next episode is something dealing with that.
So I initially wrote this down as like learn a new and interesting truth about a companion, but what if it was like, did you discover a new page in a companion's story? So that could be either forward or backwards in their personal arc.
Okay.
I
That's
really
pretty good way
like
to put it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Hmm,
did
I-
you
I mean, I don't
discover-
hate it, but I like more just like learning about a character.
And that's exactly what it is. It's either did you learn something about their past, or did you learn a new thing about what's going on now?
I guess you're like trying.
Like what's up with your head? It would be like if you want to go back to the DCL example, it would be like being able to score in the epilogue of you saving them from their problem of whatever it is that you learned in that other episode.
We better get a goddamn EXP if we have to sit through a flashback.
Yeah, fucking flash.
Exactly.
Yeah, first do the flashback episode, and then when you succeed, you have a post credits with splash scenes in it.
Now, I'm gonna say something about this companion with a capital C. That includes you and the NPC companions you pick up along the way. Because I would love to reward you guys for actually like sitting down and talking to
Investing
them.
ourselves in the waifu.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, blow your fucking mind.
Oh, holy shit!
No.
Like, give me what we always
I-
goddamn do.
I have a stipulation then. I have a stipulation.
All
Can I
right.
solve all their problems with my dicks?
No, I want a one waifu per like at least a period of time because holy shit, we need up real fast.
Good.
I mean,
Really,
again, you
really,
guys
really
will
like
still
it.
have the caveat of you can only have like 2 NPCs traveling along with you at a time.
Really, one of those like
Yes, but
parking
we had
gates.
a
You gotta be
lot
able
of
to punch a
waifus
ticket
last
out
time.
if you want to go through.
I mean, yeah, actually significantly fewer waifu types than in 72, but
On the rare chance that I can find an NPC I want a waifu, I demand one of those slots. Considering I have not had a waifu in
So that you
Like
can suck
270
his or her
games.
dick.
exactly.
Yes.
all right. I may add a 6th slot for something like improve your character's holdings or like find a permanent magic item or something like that to reward you for building up your power base. But we'll see.
Okay.
Actually, you don't have a
I
holding
wouldn't
right now, so
go
I'll
with
leave off on
magical
that.
We're
items.
holdless, so hold off until we have a
Yeah.
hold to hold.
Mobile fortress.
We'll see.
Just
What
so you know,
about-
Sav&D, don't go with magical items. Just improve your character
It's
group's
got-
holding. Because
Yeah, one of-
otherwise
one
you
of-
can
one of the
literally
others
just
fine.
fucking make them and then get XP. Like
I know
every
you don't get
fucking
XP for
session.
just making items. It's did you find one? You
Yeah,
don't
that's what I
find
mean.
things on your
What
fucking
about
forge.
what about expanding our fame?
Our
Like
reputation.
our
Reputations based experience.
Yeah,
bonus.
that's what.
That'd be interesting.
Uh.
I do want to do like a scow style like
Yeah, would you?
reputation
I still need to give
system.
you. I still need to give
Yes,
you my
please.
rep system, don't I?
I would
I mean, if-
love and appreciate that.
I mean, if we're actually going to have a reputation, I never thought that would come
Yeah.
up.
Because like we're a band of mercenaries, and mercenary bands have like a reputation of being like a bunch of assholes or a bunch of like fucking thieves. They're basically just bandits though, and just like so like what if we get an EXP for maintaining or growing a good reputation as a band.
All right, so something like this. Improve your character's holdfast or reputation.
All right, works for me.
I mean, I would.
Yes.
All right, so that won't be a trigger for right now, but it will be something that we'll think about adding on once your characters like have established themselves to a point where they can have a more than
Like if we do
citywide
some,
reputation.
like if we do something really awesome, and
Well,
it
I
gets
Yeah, like
it'll,
when you
like-
slay a dragon or like save an entire like
Well,
city from
that's-
danger, then yeah, you immediately boom, this triggers. Or when you get your hold fast, whichever happens first.
That's what I wanted to kind of ask about in detail, because I would like it if not only the counted, but if the little things counted over time. Like, yeah, you guys slayed a dragon, but you always go around looking like you literally just came out from a fucking garbage pail.
I mean, maybe don't do
I mean,
that.
it's called
I
being
mean-
practical.
I mean, I'm just like saying I would like it if it's like we had reputation incentives to like maintain our gear and sleep at fine establishments and like try to present a better image
I
so that
mean,
way we
yeah, I
get a
can see
reputation.
like tying that into downtime, maybe like your lifestyle costs you guys are living out.
Yeah, because otherwise we have
So if we
no-
all live like hobos, our reputation degrades.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because everyone
if we-
thinks you are literally filthy murder hobos, and nobody
We
wants to
travel
talk to
into-
you.
we travel into town with dirt and blood all over our clothing and weapons, and we fucking just sleep in the back alley. Everybody's just like, fucking watch out for those guys.
Yeah, it's the difference between being literal thugs and being the adventurers we all, hope and aspire to be.
Exactly. I would like that to play into into effect, so that way we have a reason to say I clean my weapons in downtime.
Yeah. Okay.
And like a lot of people, a lot of characters we were doing in, I remember 72.
Yeah.
We were very specific in mentioning, I take a fucking bath.
It would also help that when I become mastermind and get a forgery kit, I can forge fake documents and throw them around until the IRS comes and stomps me.
Fucking hashtag
What, are you
thought
gonna
audit.
give me a thought on this? Yes. Thought on Instagram.
Oh god, the thought bold.
Can
Thought
forge us
bubble.
can forge us like invitations to fancy parties.
Wait, as a kobold, do you even speak common?
I assume so. Let me check.
Go
real quick.
look, motherfucker. That's
Can
important.
it be broken common? Because I would love that.
No, it is going to be broken common.
It's
He-
Nipponese common.
he-
God, no. I
No,
don't know
it's
whether
not-
to love or hate it.
Glorious Copodress.
no, it's not going to be like super X.
It's not going to be all loan words.
No, he's going to like use a little kobold terminology in a lot of his English. I have to make up a lot of it because I don't have obviously a lot of it.
Just
But
hack
yeah.
violently
Oh, shit,
into your
yes.
mouth, and that's what draconic sounds like. Just pretend
Draconic
one of your
just sounds-
lungs is trying to come up your throat.
Draconic is just black lung. Okay.
Get pretty much.
Let's see. Kobold.
Oh,
Nice.
Alignment, age, languages. You could speak
Well,
and read
it's-
common,
don't
common and
worry.
draconic.
All right,
Okay.
I'm happy they did not fuck you like that.
I'm gonna have to deal with the sunlight
Okay.
sensitivity, so I don't want to deal with that too. Oh man, I'm gonna, be a
Sukabliat,
terror.
motherfucker.
I'm gonna be a terror in indoor buildings.
Get to speak motherfucking giant all up in this shit.
Which is instantly the Minotaur language, so congratulations, you can communicate. Alright. Actually, speaking of which,
Well,
Kina,
that's fucking perfect. That's perfect. I speak the
Uh,
fucking drunken Russian, and I speak the fucking drunken Scottish, and I
God.
know cat.
for when you're a drunk kitty. Kina, why do you have 3
Yeah.
tool proficiencies? Where'd you get those?
3.
Yeah, you have disguise kit, dice, and land vehicles. So sorcerer gives you 0, and your background gives you 2, and I don't think Minotaur gives you anything. So
Hang on, let's see. Where's my background on this thing again?
I believe your background gives you vehicles and dice. I have no idea where disguise kit came from.
Yeah, that's- Sounds fucking weird, but
Something's
what class are
fucky.
you?
Sorcerer.
Let's see. Mercenary veteran. Gaming set and vehicle.
Yep, so that's dice and land vehicles.
Let's just do a search for dis. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's why. Okay, I just forgot to take that one off. I had initially, before chip picking, settling on mercenary veteran, I had initially started. I initially had taken gladiator as my background.
Right,
Then I-
performer.
Right. Yeah.
Motherfucker. Stop being so motivated, DCL.
What? Should be an XP milestone.
No! Alright.
need
there.
Let's see, I think I've touched on all the rest of these character notes. So lastly, are the character story notes. Okay, let's see. Hedra has answered all of my questions with this enormous backstory, so thank you. Scow. Let's talk about your merchant rival. Who ruined your family? Who ruined you?
Okay. I wondered if you wanted to use any names you already had, but I suppose
Nope, this is all you, baby.
Okay.
If you wanted to give
It
me a
is
cool new salamander
unknown-
to play with, that'd be awesome, just saying.
It is entirely possible that it would be.
No,
I don't want to go quite the whole Steel Tech way of saying it's an off relative, but at the same time, it's a good fucking story trope that they are an offshoot family from great grandpa's adventurer days. It's either
Alright.
that or people aren't sure if they're merchants or criminals.
Don't worry, Save it. I got you covered.
Regardless, we ended up on the wrong side of them. What would you prefer that they be? Like a legitimate or like actual criminals?
Salamander Mafia.
There you go. That's your rival name. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, like a legitimate like rival would be cool. If you want to make them like a
Okay.
relative, that would be also very cool. Though that also
Okay,
means they
sure.
probably took control of the business more than just like driving it into the ground.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like that might get just also too involved, and the last
Unless
thing
it
I
was
want to
like
do is drag it
maybe
in.
your parents like I don't know arranged a marriage with another merchant family, and when you refuse, they just tank your folks.
Simon, I have a question.
Yeah, could do.
Yes, DCL.
Are salamanders basically just the Amazons of kobolds?
Yes.
Mind blown. Okay.
And they are salamanders are also just like kobolds, descended from dragons. You are a related species,
They're just the Amazons.
and
of
you can't
kobolds.
interbreed. Just saying.
Well, trust me, I got you covered. But cover Scout first. I have ideas.
Let's see here.
Please tell me that idea is like the queen salamander of Tidescale Island.
I wasn't gonna go so far as queen. I was going
All
to
right, so everyone, pick a letter in the alphabet.
Eh?
Pick a letter in the alphabet.
You.
Grabbing the fronts of them. All right. Some U names exist. Z names exist. Actually, surprisingly enough. What kind of Z names we got here?
Vizgul.
There are some complicated ones that I can't pronounce. They're just too Russian.
It's just too Russian.
too rough.
That's fun.
Let's see
God,
here.
is your rival a minotaur?
No.
Aw.
Although probably still like, you know, same idea of Slavicry, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Uh,
He's a Ukrainian.
No, that one's also really. I don't want to hear you butcher pronouncing that one either.
And what?
Let's go. Let's
what
go
was-
simple. The Lukov mercantile concern.
Lukov.
What?
I was
Yeah.
looking at another one, but it's Likhaichikov or something like
The
that. I can't even-
Kaikichov. No,
No,
that's fucking awful.
yeah.
Please don't.
Likhachov, which Likhachov sounds quite nice out loud, but then you read the name like that, and you're like, I'm gonna fail this all the time.
No, that's DCL's gonna fail that
Backstory.
every time.
There you go. That's better.
Okay,
Catch
cool.
up.
So do you want to go with Lukov or Likachov?
Let's go with Likhachov.
Likashov, Mercantile Concern.
Yep. And you know, because it says mercantile concern, they've totally got some crims on the inside. Because that's, I don't know why, but concern always makes me think of they've probably got some breakers or some beaters or some.
Of
window
course, yeah.
boys.
They're a shell
Big
company for
cutthroat.
some real bad people.
Dickheads. Some super big dickheads.
All right, so that's the group. Who's the individual in charge, or that you dealt with while this horrible shit was happening? Like, give me an
Yuri.
NPC. Yuri.
Yuri Gagari.
I am
This is
Yuri.
actually one of my favorite Russian
My-
names because it's always the
My
name
command
of
is
some,
your will.
It's always the name of some badass Russian fighter.
And look, if you go that hardcore, green scale salamander. What the hell is that?
Exactly.
All right, all right.
It was the result of alchemy. Alchemy, I say. They say she breathes
Oh
poison.
no. That. Oh no. Then my brain just went somewhere like, oh no. That's.
I do remember back in Sav&D 2, we didn't encounter a group of iron scale lizard people.
Stone scale lizard people.
I remember that saying iron scale, but okay.
I can imagine it now. Like, you know, they say that she breathes poison instead of flame.
Ooh, that's cool. I was about to say, and she's got like a noxious gas cloud following her. No, that's just.
That's
just
a thought, though. No.
That's too.
That's a
too
poop.
like.
No.
That's too
Instead, like
villain.
a viscous corrosive acid casually drips from her tail instead of fire.
Oh, that's horrible for everything around her. All right.
Everyone suffers.
Or wait, what if it's not an acid, but it is a chemical?
Yeah. What are you
Ripe for
thinking?
tail pegging, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Lubricants, free flow.
Just thinking aphrodisiacs, but okay.
That's just straight up lube. It's a fucking. She gets
I mean, look,
cast
I'm not
the
saying
group.
I have a character for COC2 that is exactly that, but I
Lady
do
lubricant.
have an alchemy salamander that has some internal lubricants.
Of course. Of course.
But they're not
Oh, yeah.
on the tail, just the tail hole.
Of course. Of course. But yeah, there you go. Anaya Lachayev.
Actually, let me
Gotcha.
get rid of that K in there, like Lichachachov.
If
Wait, it even has
nobody
lich in the
else
name.
See, I was looking at this like we're gonna keep fucking it up.
Yeah.
you-
Let's
a really
get this
nice
as
name,
phonetic as possible. Lichayov.
the DCL.
That
Okay,
maybe.
Lachayev. I feel like when you write it somewhere, you should have the phonetics and brackets next to it because you'll forget anyway, and we'll all
That's
forget.
yeah. Lichayov. Okay. We good.
Cool.
Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna be just Anaya Lichahov from Wichita. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next on the list is Kanathis.
Yes.
So we've talked about your magic hammer from the magic
Right.
cave. We've
Yes.
talked about Jakard.
Yes.
Who did you meet in Jakard's camp whose memory lingers with you still?
Hmm. I do remember that there was a very I do remember that they always had a very very interesting like black like smith there, a very
Mm-hmm.
talented blacksmith that was so maybe that someone like that.
Oh God, I remember her name was a play on Hedra too. I'm just trying to remember what it
Was
was.
it?
Hopefully it wasn't fucking Kamina.
No, it was actually like Head something something.
Head Jemina.
Hedwina. No, that's terrible.
I don't
Henry.
remember what her name was because we only met her.
Wait,
Then I'm
hold on.
like,
I'm logged into 72 right now. Let's see if
oh my god.
I have that map still, because there's a non-zero chance that I do. I still have a bunch of 72 maps like in this campaign too, because this is a copy of 73, which is a copy of 72. But I did clear out a lot of the chaff. I have 125 maps archived in here. Oh boy.
Oh god.
Oh hey, Jakard's camp. Here we go.
Oh hey, it still exists.
Oh, I remember her name. It was Helgrin. Helgryn.
Okay.
How the hell is that a play on Hedra?
Because I changed it from Hedrin, Hed, and I was like, you know what? Hedra's actually in this campaign. That's just going to get confusing. Then I changed it. And yeah, she's still around because.
What? But what's the name again? Hell Grin is not that often my normal grin.
Don't forget your Cheshire grin. And yeah, she made masterwork weapons and exotic armors for Jakard's camp. Oh yeah, and here's his two little favorite horse girls, Anna and Salem.
The witch trials.
Oh yes, and of course his list of potions. Let's just go ahead and copy that over, because I can't imagine I'll ever need this during this campaign at all.
Depends. Oh wait, no.
But yeah, if you wanted to have a special relationship with Helgrin, because given her proclivities, she was probably either a dwarf or a minotaur before joining the Horse Guard.
So possibly a similar. Okay.
Similar situation.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe she's the one who even gave you the hint about this hammer being out here. Alright. So DCL,
Mm-hmm.
tell me more about your island.
So, I think what you mean is tell you more about the Slamazon salamander
Yes.
who is chasing after little Zuth.
Oh, really? Yes, please tell me more.
So Zuth, as you've seen, is a sweet little noodle arm who
Mhm.
honestly is too weak to survive in the scary outside world. And I was thinking that there might be this fucking super hunched Amazon who thinks Zuth is adorable, but because she doesn't speak at all, she's a horrible matchup for Zuth, who just does all the talking. So Zuth is terrified of her and is continuously running away while she is just
So,
trying to follow him.
Yandery-mander.
Yeah, she is just trying to follow him, find him, and hug him back to the place where he probably belongs, safe and sound on the island. You're right.
What kind of
It's
government
one
does the island have? Is it like a is there like a salamander chancellor who's sitting in for the inevitable return of your dragon lord? Like what was his name? Like Ditherion or something from Lord of the Rings? The fuck was his name?
I wonder how
Adjectorian.
that-
Steward.
Yeah, the steward.
Dennis,
Denethor, yes.
Hmm. I would imagine if we're talking kobolds and a community, without going towards the obvious, haha, communism does not work. I guess they would be broken up into like little kobold families, and each one would be like an overseer of a certain part of land, kind of like basically just
So the patriarchy.
yeah.
Sent by the islands. Okay, let's
then
let's take this a step further, like away from lol communism to like lol remnants of a fallen empire, because dragons.
I mean, if we want to go through a step further, we could say that Zuth wasn't supposed to go exploring because he is a sage with valuable knowledge, and every kobold needs to do their part for the whole. So not everybody agreed with him leaving, and they want to bring him back. So they sent the Slamazon, who thinks he's adorable and wants to just bring him back safe and sound.
Yeah. All right, so if there's a clan type government or organization on this island, do they have something like a Roman Senate where each family sends like a patriarch to go participate?
Maybe so.
All right, so
If we wanna do like a kobold ancestry thing, since they believe the dragons are the closest to gods, or just actually gods, maybe salamanders are closer to dragons than kobolds believe that they
yeah.
are.
So the salamander ruling class over the poor kobold proletariat.
So
Delightful.
God damn
the
it.
salamanders don't even really do anything with the kobolds since they're just underground. But every kobold elects one salamander as their like kind of weird outside warrior slash leader slash.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay.
Because the salamanders are the Amazon warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are the swords of the kobold.
They're your
empire.
champions.
They are
Each
the
tribe has a
champions.
champion.
Yes. Only the one, because it takes an entire tribe to be able to satisfy the whims and desires of one kobold, of one salamander. But
I was gonna
those
say
other-
like produce enough food for, but yeah, all right, I dig it.
That's actually what I meant, but
Yeah, sure it is.
But
All right.
basically the salamanders
So-
are
Your
country
nameless Yandery-mander sent by the island's Grand Council to retrieve runaway Sooth.
sent by Soof's own clan, which I guess I will have to
Nice.
figure that out now.
Sent by. So does that mean your family is like in power right now?
Yandere, Salamander, and
No, no,
Nature.
Because it's not like well, I mean Zoof.
So it's sent by his clan and the island's like Grand Council or whatever.
Yeah, he's not a noble, but because like every clan is like a family, quote unquote, even the lowest, as long as they're under the jurisdiction and was born there, will count as family member, right?
Mhm.
Because the kobolds are going to be like super big on like enforcing an authority. It's more like, you should really pay attention to authority because we need all the wheels to be going quickly. So it's not like any of the kobolds are like intimidating of stature or authority, but it's just like, hey, I'm in charge. You kind of need you to listen. I'm trying to make like a weird distinction here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I gotcha. Alright. So suddenly I need to turn to Kina again to get to Mers.
Okay.
Way back in Sav&D 2,
Yes.
you captured and interrogated a hobgoblin officer. I think he was like a lieutenant colonel or something, and you sent him back
was
to
a
his
general.
homeland.
He was like
To
he
go,
was in
like-
command of like a border defense place.
Yeah, so
And
he
we
went
were
home to
like-
teach after the war. We found
Yeah.
out. Do you remember what that motherfucker's name was? Because
You
God,
can
I
find
sure
it in
don't.
the episode.
If
of,
this was an episode that
where-
was
Tower.
recorded, but
it
yeah.
was Tarnavak.
It was definitely recorded.
Yep.
And his
People
name.
were bitching on me trying to do
I
to create the Jenna page.
And his name.
Because it would seem really cool to me if he wasn't your mentor, Tarnavak, that he was like from that same school and his pro-peace philosophy had sort of changed its outlook over time as soon as he got tenure at whatever like military academy he's from. So setting aside that there's no way anyone remembers his name,
I'm
I
sorry,
can find it before next session for you.
yeah, that would be delightful if you would do that. But yeah, does that sound like something that's cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice little tie in there.
So retired army. He probably ended up as a general.
He was captured as a general. But I know that for certain.
All right, so he was a general at the time, and he probably like got busted down at some point. So maybe he retired as like a colonel or something. Definitely lost a lot of prestige there. He's lucky he didn't get executed. So yeah, so tell me about your whatever military academy or like war college you went to before you got shipped over here. Was it a prestigious place? Is it something that's kind of fallen out of favor with the court?
This is kind of what I wanted to hear from you about how the Empire has been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the last thing I remember you saying about it was, back around the start of 73, there had been a civil war going on because the Emperor and the heir apparent were both assassinated by the Arunans.
Yes, and so the third son or third child of the Emperor, who had been a priest of Agresh, took the throne, which is already a big no-no, and then ended up in a conflict with the military, who wanted to come home and lick their wounds for once. And he was like firebrand pro-war. So I'm actually going to leave that question up to you. Who won that fight over in the Empire? Because we don't know. Did the like pro-peace, or at least temporary peace military sect come out victorious, or did the like imperial loyalists come out? And is Skez's family still in power over there?
Okay, then in that case, it didn't really end with either side winning outright. The Imperial Loyalists couldn't defeat the military, and the military couldn't overthrow the Emperor.
That's
The
messy.
peace agreement that was reached was that the Emperor, the claimant Emperor, would cede rule to a council of generals, but after 10 years, his son would assume the throne.
Mm-hmm. So did the military junta ever actually give back power?
In name, definitely. In fact, it's not an open war anymore, but it's like it's a cold war inside the Hobgoblin court.
Okay, so there's like a military council that actually runs the place, and then there's a figurehead member of the Rusek clan who is on the throne. All right, I'm
Yeah,
on board.
and he's been gradually building up power to get rid of the military council for good, but
So there's going to be another Imperial Civil War before too long. Before Runa has to deal with their bullshit again, probably.
it depends, really. I mean, most of the Hobgoblin youth, they've been raised on tales of glory, right? They've heard about the defeat, they want to avenge it. It's only the old veterans and those they are directly educating that are in favor of peace. It's like it's likely to be the emperor rising up with a populist army against the officer cadre.
I see. So you're saying a populist member of the elites is going to rise up and yeah, never mind. I'm not going to carry that any further. Yeah, I'm on board. So which side of the argument do you come from? Are you someone who's coming over here hoping to find a way to like keep the peace, or are you interested in like finding out the weaknesses of Aruna before you come back and return with a sword?
I want to find out their strengths. Like Tarnovac is from an old school military family. The Hobgoblins had those big breeding pits, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They like women are property over there, and if you're a slave woman, it's a bad time.
Yeah. He was probably claimed by one of the members of the officer cadre who are not themselves a veteran of the Reconquista, but were directly influenced by them and by that general that was sent. And he was raised in that philosophy, but still being relatively young in comparison to most of that still peace-seeking cadre. He's got exposure to all of the to the revanchists.
So what you're saying is he could end up being tipped either way by what he sees here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if the government here seems weak, ineffectual, like it would be improved by Hobgoblin rule, he'll probably be on the aggressor's side, but what he came here to find was what made them strong, what allowed them to overthrow the Hobgoblins, and then take that back to the Empire to incorporate it into the military council's rule.
Alright. Follow-up question then. So there's an issue with this turn for your character that I want you to be like abundantly aware of before you commit to this. If you are a member of the Hobgoblin Empires, like someone of like ruling cadre blood who has come here to learn Aruna's strengths, you are what might be called a spy. And if someone finds out, you will probably be killed. So the question is, are you actually just here incognito, or are you like, did you come with some sort of diplomatic papers to keep that from happening, or are you just going to try and blend in as a local gobbo? Captain Karwak, based Kina.
Are you sure, Kina?
That was it. I looked all the way. I looked back into the Sav&D 2 archive, and I found when we found that officer. And I looked around, and eventually I found a moment where Savan edited the no-name officer's token to have.
Are you sure this is the same officer, though? Captain
Yeah,
Carvok, he
it's the same
sounds like
house.
the guy who, you found throat fucking the missing,
No.
princess.
No.
Okay.
I remember that. Back when Sav&D was primarily written by D captions.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it could definitely be argued honestly that Tarnovac is a spy. But it could similarly be argued that he's a deserter and a defector. Like, he didn't come here on an authorized mission, not by any
Oh.
means. He did his research. He's come here on his own initiative. And when he goes back, he better have something worthwhile to show, or he's going to be killed then.
Alright, so you are in a precarious position indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. So I guess final question for you. Is your papa still alive? And if you go missing, is he gonna send somebody to look for you?
He probably doesn't have the clout to send somebody important. Like, even now, when with me 35, he's likely to be a major, maybe a lieutenant colonel at best. But I mean, if the Empire has just been fighting its own Cold War against itself, he's probably still, you know, a major, maybe a senior captain. He's definitely alive, but I don't know if he could send anyone.
Okay. Okay. No, it's fine, DC. Now you just get to find out and play. Or just by listening to the VOD, whatever. Alright. And that, my friends, is the end of my questions document. So
Good timing. I'm going to hand you a reputation tracking document.
yay! In the meantime, if anyone has any further questions or concerns, this is the time to put them forward.
I have the one.
Alright.
What do you feel about the moon scales believing that salamanders were made by the great sun scale dragon cutting off his tail, and from the tail grew a salamander?
That sounds like mythology to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like
Sounds
mythology.
right.
I will tell you that it's almost certainly wrong, but it's an absolutely perfectly valid mythology for dumb little kobolds to have. So yeah, I
Every
am
single
on board.
vertebrae was one great salamandry elite.
Exactly. And kobolds were simply just a scale dug into the ground. They were born as little workers.
You were just like some scales that were shed off, like when he was molting. And that's why there's so many of you too. It's not like you were just one scale for the whole tribe, right? You're just like a whole dragon's skin that was shed off and turned into the great kobold tribe.
No, the dragon shed his scales and planted each one in the ground.
Yeah.
And that is why kobolds have their affinity for digging and burrowing.
Yeah.
They till the earth and watch the precious.
Kobolds are the halflings of Sav&D.
They till the earth and watch the minerals for their precious dragon overlords who covet gems.
All right. I'm down with it. Anybody else?
No, I think I'm good.
Hmm.
Money, 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 money,
Money, money,
I
money.
mean, I never really have a lot of questions anyway for like the start of a D&D game.
Yeah, that's fine.
And yeah, same. And I fully expect by the end of Borks 2 to just have like a fucking list of small tables.
All right. Well, in that case,
Well-
oh, go ahead.
No, I just probably figure it out as we go. But
All right. Well, then, yeah. Thank you guys
No, I-
for turning up and speaking your pieces. Thank you, stream, for watching. And I
Yeah.
suppose next week begins the great adventure.
Mm.
This is gonna be an experience.
It's gonna be great, just like every Sav&D.
Aw,
It's
thank
fine.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, chat. Bye, YouTube. Have a good one.